Hi, guys. Welcome back. My name is Yasim. Today, we're going to attempt to get the good ending in Slay the Princess. Hopefully, we will successfully get the good ending. Last time, I'm pretty sure I got the worst ending in the game, like the actual worst ending. So let's see if we can redeem ourselves. I'm hoping that the good ending will be an actual
You're
happily
on
ever
a
after.
path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
I'm hoping the good ending will be us literally running away with the princess.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
The end of the world. Let's see. A lot of these we've done. I haven't done this one yet. Sweet. I've always wanted to off a monarch.
That's the spirit. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Oh, proceed to the cabin. It didn't even let us argue. Okay. Probably because I said I wanted to slay a monarch.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
We're taking it.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Enter the basement. All right, here we go. It's starting.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
I still think it's funny that they say that, as if she's the one in charge. She's literally the only one chained down there, so yeah, she's in charge.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Let's see. Continue down the stairs.
Good.
We're not even going to say
You're
a
still
word. We're
listening
just
to
going to go.
reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
I love how the narrator, how he says that she's binded to the wall. I love how he never mentions the fact that she broke the other binding. He never says a word about the other binding being broken.
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
What? Girl, why would we kill you? Yes, we are. But she doesn't need to know that. Let's see. I haven't decided yet. Ooh, okay. Still your nerves and step forward. I haven't tried this yet.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then?
Oh?
Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me?
Well, I mean, I got a knife. And
I'm
you're
probably
chained.
chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Let's see. I'm sorry, can we talk? I'm not dropping the blade. Drop the blade, slay the princess. Ooh, what do I want to do? Let's just do it. Let's just slay her.
You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Oh,
Oh.
this is it, isn't it?
I'm afraid so. For you at least, not me though.
I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder, do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
It's like she's convinced she can't die. Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over? Really over?
Okay, so last time we did this, we decided to test it. Let's see. Of course it is she's dead. I'm not sure. Of course not. Yeah, of course it is she's dead. I didn't choose this one last time.
Yes, exactly. It's over. With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. Why do I feel like we've done something terrible? You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience. But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here.
Wait,
You
we just
open
got
the
to
cabin
leave?
door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes
Does
ago,
that mean the narrators lied to us the whole
only thing in
time?
front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away.
Hold on a sec. You literally said, if we slay the princess, we would save the world. We slayed her, and you're telling me there's nothing?
What happened?
The narrator lied to us.
Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy. You'll be happy.
That's bullshit. Let me out of here. I was kind of hoping I'd get a better ending for saving the world. I like that one.
This isn't an ending. In fact, now that the princess has been slain, endings are a thing of the past. No. This is the beginning of eternity. Your reward.
Our reward is the beginning of eternity, okay?
This is what's best for everyone. Trust me. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier. Psst. Hey. We're not just gonna stay here forever, right?
Didn't you hear the narrator? I'm happy. We're happy.
Are we really happy?
I
Or
love
is
that
he
one.
just telling us that we are?
No, we're happy. I'm sure of it.
Really? Well, if you ever change your mind, just let me know, I guess. More happy time passes, though the word begins to lose its meaning. Time, that is, not happy. Happy still has plenty of meaning. Please, shake yourself out of it. We have to get out of here. The little voices, please, fall on deaf ears. Eventually you pass into a blissful state of pure existence. Though words like eventually and pass ceased to have any meaning to you long before that shift, you simply exist. Happy. Forever.
Wait, that was it? Good ending. You did it. You saved everyone. Wait a minute. I did it. I wasn't expecting to get it as soon as we started. Wait a minute. Did we literally end it? I've only played it for 10 minutes. Wait a minute. What? That was it? That was the good ending? That was horrible. I was hoping the good ending would be us, like, sweeping the princess off her feet. Like, for real. What is this? I was hoping it would be something cool, you know, like Shrek when you save Fiona from the dragon, you know? Even having something funny where, you know, like a donkey comes along, like why not? Like something random as hell, but involving us like carrying the princess away. That's what I wanted. Well, we're obviously not done. We're gonna keep going and see what else we can get. But hey, we're starting off on a great page, since I guess. Thank you for playing. As an expression of our gratitude, here's a track order for a special playlist. Oh, that's pretty cool. Return to the main menu. New game. Let's try this again. Chapter 1, The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay, now I want to see what happens if we just turn around and leave.
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
Yeah, away from the cabin. Quietly continued on the path away from the cabin.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin.
That's what I just said, yes.
Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation than to take part in it. Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Okay.
That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin.
It's okay.
How
We'll just turn around
convenient.
again. We can do this
Everything's
all
back
day.
on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
Turn around again and leave again.
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you?
Just your
It's
time, yes.
remarkably
It's quite
selfish,
entertaining.
if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
That's fine. The good ending wasn't much better. Good, maybe everyone should die. We're just gonna keep leaving. Quietly continue
Your
down the path.
silence is deafening.
We're gonna pretend we can't hear the
Fine.
narrator.
You turn around and trek back down the path you came. Oh, would you look at that? You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess.
Oh, it won't let us do it again. No, there's no fun in this. Oh yeah, well, I guess I start walking a different direction again. In fact, I'm going to keep trekking through the wilderness until I find a way out of this place.
There's always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who's ever lived.
I
as
already
well as
made the
for
right
everyone
choice the
who
first
ever
time,
will.
according to you, and it was awful, okay?
And here we go. As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen. At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses of familiar wooden structures through the leaves. But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick of light.
Well, there's more than one cabin now.
In every direction, there is a path and a cabin.
That is so
And not just any
trippy.
The cabin. An infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be. Wait, what's going on? But you're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world.
I mean, yes, you're understanding, absolutely.
You've doomed us all, you know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death. You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness. But it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
Chapter 2, The Stranger. That was actually an ending?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her.
I wonder if it'll
don't,
let us do it again.
It will be the end of the world.
Will it let us do it again? Yeah, again, I'm going to the cabin. Yep, okay, heading to the cabin now where I'm definitely going to slay the princess. It won't let us do it again. Ah, you're bastard. You're in for it now. I'm wise to your trick.
My tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We've just met for the first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. I don't know. I think it's more fun if he knows what we're thinking. He's like a captive audience. The entire world ending wasn't enough to get rid of us. I don't think there's much he can do other than object. I wonder what else we can do to ruin his day. If by ruining my day, you mean ruining everyone's day forever, then yes, I suppose there are plenty of ways you can pull that off. The world really did end last time, didn't it? We should be careful. For all we know, we just got lucky. The world hasn't ended yet. And you are never going to slay her with that attitude. Stuff those pathetic little voices to the back of your mind and stay focused on the task ahead.
Let's see, those walls weren't here last time. You can't just force me to go to the cabin. Yes.
What are you talking about? I'm sure those walls have always been there. It makes sense if you think about it. If there weren't any walls in the woods, someone might have gotten lost. Or, heaven forbid, someone other than you might have stumbled onto the princess.
You know what's funny? I actually didn't even notice the wall until I clicked that. There's actually a wall behind the trees. I didn't even see that. That's why we can't, that's why we can't leave. Yep, okay, head to the cabin now. I'm definitely gonna slay that princess.
You know I can tell when you're lying, right? Please take this seriously. I am begging you.
So what I'm thinking for this playthrough...
Before you go any further.
What I'm thinking for this playthrough is we're just gonna be cowards every time. I'm not gonna kill her, but I'm also not gonna free her. I'm gonna keep leaving as many times as it lets me. We're just gonna leave her in the cabin. If we can't refuse to go in the cabin, then we're gonna say hi to her and then just like be like, all right, bye, and just leave. We're gonna see if we get a different ending doing that.
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her.
Look, I see the walls now. I can see them now.
Don't believe a word she says. If we're stuck going in there, maybe we should believe her. Maybe she isn't a liar.
I like the way the voice of contrarian thinks.
Ignore him. He's just being difficult for the sake of it. Let's keep an open mind.
Proceed to the cabin. Like, it didn't even give us the option to do anything else.
Wrong. A confusing patchwork of many cabin interiors, all projected across what's almost the same space. But it's all shifted. An inch here, a foot there, such that the seams are never quite visible enough for the place to make any sense. The only furniture of note is a plain table, its legs all the wrong lengths, its material devoid of feature. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. If he wants us to take it, maybe we should just leave it to collect dust, or better yet, grab it and throw it out the window. What good is a knife against a world-ending monstrosity anyway? No, we're taking the knife. Have you seen this place?
We're not taking the knife. Don't listen to the voice of the hero. He's lying.
And no idea what we're dealing with. I've already told you what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a princess. How many times do I have to explain this incredibly simple and straightforward premise? You can't just say that. And when everything here is so wrong, listen to me. My job is to describe facts as facts and to guide you through your job, which is to slay the princess and through that action, save the entire world. And if you're going to slay her, you cannot let fear creep into your heart. You cannot lose yourself before you even get to her. Oh, ho, ho, ho. You've piqued my interest. What's going to happen if we lose ourselves?
Olivia was like, oh, all right, challenge accepted. I want to know more.
Nothing, because you're going to pull yourself together.
Oh, are we? I'm sorry. Who's in charge of us here? I'm pretty sure it's us, and you're supposed to narrate what we do. Okay, thank you.
Just ignore the stressful geometry and stay calm. How? Even if we closed our eyes, you're constantly describing it to us. I'm not going to stop doing my job, so you're just going to have to get better at yours. And quickly, if you don't mind. Yes, take a deep breath. I'm all for getting under his skin, but we'll miss out on loads of fun if we shrivel up into a ball and go insane the first time we see something weird. What you're seeing here is obviously real. Just accept it and go with the flow. It really isn't hard. Okay, I'm fine. Good. Now, whenever you're ready, we're all waiting for you to complete a very important task.
It's called Runaway. Let's see. Take the blade, explore the mirror. Yep, enter the basement. We're not taking the blade.
The door to the basement creaks open,
Whoa, look at all
revealing
the
a web
stairs.
of branching staircases all built from unidentifiable materials. Nothing here seems to belong, and the closer you examine your surroundings, the more confused you get, your head throbbing with the effort of making sense of this place. None of the stairs
Something
even seem
tells me it's
go
going to be hard to
anywhere,
run away
let
with all
alone
these
down.
stairs.
The air here has a sickening, almost sludge-like miasma to it, the kind of indiscernible quality that comes from the blending together of every scent there is at once. An odour that is simultaneously everything and yet the sum of it all coalescing into a thick, nauseating nothing. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favour. Her voice, a disquieting collage of tone and personality, drags up the stairs.
Hello? Hi. What are you doing here? Are you here to kill?
Why does she sound like like AI talking?
No, thank you. Oh, don't be such a baby. I don't want to do this. Let's just turn around and leave. This feels wrong. This feels like a trap. Like whatever we do, we're gonna die. We don't even have a weapon. But we already tried turning around and leaving, didn't we? And he threw up a wall. No way to go but forward. And whatever choice we make, whatever she is, we know one thing for sure. And what's that?
We can't leave.
That the fate of the world hinges on your success? There'll still be plenty of ways to ruin his day.
All right, take the hard stairs to the left, take the center staircase, take the soft stairs to the right. Oh, the soft stairs look sketch. Let's do it.
You step to the right. The path feels soft and reassuring against your feet. The stairs almost seem to cradle you as you make your way down, like they're guiding your heels from one step directly to the next. You barely have to extend any effort to descend, the stairway doing most of the work for you. You don't feel like there's any concern that you might slip or tumble or lose your way.
You don't feel like that, but we know the princess and she has a lot of tricks.
But the further you go, the deeper you sink in.
Kind of looks like
First,
teeth
it's
now.
like a lovely plush carpet, your toes digging down and barely hitting any resistance at all. But soon enough, you're fighting just to keep your knees from sinking out of sight. The softness threatens to swallow you whole, to wrest control of your body and surround you in a false ethereal bliss.
I think I chose the wrong
pretending to
path.
save you from the cruelties of choice and consequence. It's slow going, but you manage to fight against the overwhelming urge to fall back into comfort and nothingness, the very struggle to continue forward consuming your every thought. You slowly lose sense of yourself the further you go. Physical sensations dull and
Oh
then
no,
vanish.
I don't, are we even gonna meet
Till
the
only things
princess?
experienced are the endless repeating patterns and emotions of the journey, a continuous march forward to a destination long forgotten. Consumption and betrayal, skepticism and blind devotion, rivalry and submission, terror and longing, pain and unfamiliarity. And at the heart of it all, an emotion that can only be described as...
Are you okay?
Oh, we do get to meet her.
What the hell was that? What happened to us? I feel so strange. Like I'm fundamentally different, but also still the same person I was at the top of the stairs.
Okay, she's using that soft voice, so she doesn't sound like angry. That might be a good sign for us. Maybe.
Oh well, that was a trip, but now it's over. Time to get back to our old devilish ways. The princess, eyes bright but otherwise shrouded in darkness, watches you impatiently from the other side of the basement. Don't forget why you're here. And why are we here again? In case you weren't listening, I'm afraid I lost myself on the way down.
Why are we here again? I don't remember.
You're here to... He's just being an ass. We remember. Though I'm still not sure if we should trust you. Let's talk to her for a bit, try and get our bearings. She seems normal.
Will it let us just leave? Let's see, you're apparently the threat to the world. For all I know, you're locked down here for a reason. Getting down here was weird, like I was pulled apart and put back together again. Do you know what happened to me?
I don't know what happened to you, but you look like you're in one piece now. But I understand. sometimes I feel like I'm being pulled apart too. It's so terrifying down here. But at least now you're not alone. And I'm not alone either. We're probably stuck
jeez.
down here forever, aren't we?
Actually startled
There's
me.
no way out, and barely a way in.
As the princess speaks again, it's almost as if she fractures. And where there was once just one of her, there is now another. We can do that?
We could do that? He's like, whoa, we just made 2 princesses. Holy moly.
I don't like this. It's those cabins all over again. Can we put her back? You said you'd been here before, right? What exactly happened last time?
Well, we sort of ran away like little cowards.
Does it matter? Yes, it matters. But I'm not going to waste any more time prying out details if you're going to be so irritating about it. It seems to me like you saw something you weren't supposed to have seen. If only you'd listened to whatever words of wisdom you were given in that other reality. But what's done is done, isn't it? Whatever you saw last time, unsee it. Whatever thoughts weaseled their way into your head, unthink them. If it's not already too late. You have a job to do here and you need to do it now. Oh, new plan. Let's see if we can make even more of her.
There's more of you now.
Do you need help? Not that there's much I can do chained up like this, but I'm the only one down here. So if you need anything, I'll do my best. I don't feel like I've gotten any bigger. There must be something wrong with you. I'm the same as I was a moment ago.
Oh, her voice changed.
She fractures again. I don't like where this is going. Neither do I. Which is why you need to slay her now before things get more complicated than they already are.
But this is fun. I want to see how many princesses we can make.
How would we even do that? Where would we start? We could always start by retrieving the blade. Can we even leave this place? I don't like thinking about what might happen to us if we have to go back through those stairs. Well, that's where the blade is. If you want it, you'll have to go and get it. I don't think we're going to be able to put her back. Kind of hurts to think about it, doesn't it? It's like everything we say just multiplies her.
I love that he was like, ooh, let's see if we can make more of her. And then he's like, oh, I don't think we can put her back. Uh-oh.
It certainly looks that way, so please, for the love of everything, stop asking her questions and stop stalling. You're obviously just making things worse.
What's your name? Yeah, let's do it. What's your name?
You can call me Princess, if you'd like.
That's the first time we got an answer. Instead of her saying like something sarcastic, call her Princess. Obviously that's not her name, but I feel like that's the closest we're ever gonna get when we ask her that question. Because I remember my last playthrough, every time we asked her what her name was, she always had some sarcastic remark.
Princess. It doesn't matter. I've been down here for so long. What's the point of a name if there's no one around to use it?
None of them have names. How astute. I told you she was untrustworthy.
Let's see, you're apparently a threat. I'm getting you out of here. Retrieve the blade. I don't get why it groups this. Like, it groups all of it. I'm getting you out of here. Try and free her. It's grouped together.
Wait, that's not right. Go on. You step forward. Your foot lands, but it lands different. You experience a firm footfall, a gentle tread, a confident stride. You can feel yourself rupture. The room spins, your perception multiplying in a sickening kaleidoscope as your very self is pulled in incomprehensibly many directions. You find the blade suddenly in your hands. All at once you use it to strike at her bindings as you remain upstairs and slay her and leave her to languish alone.
Wait, but I didn't want to slay her.
Is this what the end of the world looks like? What an unbearable mess. But this... we can't... Do you not have anything witty to say? I could use a good bit of wit right now. No, I don't, because this isn't fun.
Gosh.
How are we supposed to have fun if everything is happening at the same time? It's the same as nothing happening, and nothing is excruciating. Luckily for all of us, nothing and everything doesn't go on forever. The world and the princess collapse in on themselves before it all falls apart.
Look at them. Oh, they look so weird.
I think he's gone.
So instead of it being like, usually when the princess would come together, there'd be a bunch of hands and arms sticking out of her. This time, like, all of her heads were mushed together.
We were never going to salvage this, were we?
What happened to us? What are we? There are parts of us that are dead, and the others, they just don't fit. We can feel them moving around in spaces they don't belong. It's all so uncomfortable. Did you do this? Did we do this? Can you pull us back apart? Can you fix us?
I don't know if I can fix you. I don't even know what we did.
We should help her. I think we did this. How surprisingly sincere. I didn't actually think our actions had consequences. It's a little late for regret, isn't it?
Please.
It's going to be okay. I love how it says no. You just destroyed everything. I'm not going to fix you. I don't think you're supposed to be fixed. I'll do my best. Oh, I don't think it mattered. We can't fix her. Okay, the achievement for that was the illusion of choice. When everything is possible, nothing is. But you don't know if she had the chance to hear your reply. She's gone, replaced with something else.
She's gone? Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
I don't know where she went, and I don't know how we'd even go looking for her.
You're right. She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing. Then what the hell are we supposed to do?
The narrator is gone.
It is. Does that mean the world ended? Again, what the hell are we supposed to do?
I think I'm supposed to look at the mirror.
Something dreadful about it. I don't think you should. No. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Approach the mirror.
I'm begging you, don't do this.
We have nothing else, no other choice. It's that or a brown wall or brown nothingness. You approach the mirror. You gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. It's you. Oh my God, we looked in a mirror and we saw ourselves. Crazy, mind-blowing. You are alone in a place that is empty. It is quiet here. Proceed to the cabin. You are at the cabin. Approach her.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
Don't they look beautiful? It's like conjoined twins or conjoined triplets. I think there were 3 of them. Yes, beautiful. I love veins popping out of my women. Look at her neck, like the veins are just bulging. Ew. Oh, goodness. We've already asked her a lot of this last time. I might just go ahead and... Oh, wait. Destroy your body? I think we tried that before. I guess we have to ask at least one question first. So I guess we'll say, is this the end of the world?
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
Oh, you know what? Actually, I think I'm supposed to ask what happens now in order for us to keep going.
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
Okay, go ahead and say, all right, make me forget.
She asks that I tell you to remember her.
You won't.
You won't.
Still my favorite. Everything goes dark and you die. A spiral vessel. Bring the stranger to her.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't,
It will end
it will be
the
the
world.
end of the world.
It doesn't look like we can leave again. Killing a princess seems kind of bad, doesn't it?
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress?
Listen, I think slaying
If
anybody
anything,
without
slaying a princess is much
a proper
better than slaying a
explanation
seamstress.
is bad. Okay?
Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
This is still my favorite. Can't someone else do this?
Unfortunately, you're the only one who can pull this off. I don't make the rules. I wish I did, but I don't.
Actually, you do make the rules. You're the narrator. All right, let's go ahead and go to the cabin. Silently continue to the cabin.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. She will lie, she will cheat. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Proceed to the cabin. He says the same thing every time. Like, she'll try to lie, she'll try to manipulate you, so I did skip his
The interior
part.
of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Enter the basement. Like I said, we're cowards this whole game. Like, this whole playthrough, we're not slaying her at all.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
Again, we had a worse fate when we slayed her. Okay, so you're tripping. Let's see, just checking in on you.
You are? It's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
I could, but we're not doing that either. We're just gonna run away. Sorry. It won't let me. Oh no, hold on. Let's talk a bit first. I'll see what I can do. Oh
Only
no.
making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to
side eye.
the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Let's see. I'm going upstairs. Maybe the key's still lying around somewhere, and if not, maybe I can at least find something to break you free.
Okay. I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place.
We're not going to be able to escape. Oh no. So I guess we are freeing her and she's going to kill us. Like, we've already been through this, but it's okay.
Is someone else here?
Just return to the stairs. We already know how
Make your way to the bottom of the
how
stairs.
this works.
This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Yes, but at least we're locked down here together.
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth.
This part,
her teeth
I just
tearing
can't. It
through
gets
her
me
limb
every
with the
time.
determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
Slay the princess, save the princess. Have I ever just slayed her when this happened? Okay, I take it back.
Without hesitation, you bring the blade down.
I don't think we've ever done
plunge
this.
it into the princess's back. Finally, the wound drives her to the ground. Okay, there's no going back now. I'm with you to the end.
You bastard. Were you lying to me this whole time?
The princess pushes away from you, the motion ripping the blade from her back. Wounded, but still alive, she crouches on all fours in the corner of the room and meets your eyes with the ferocity of a cornered predator.
You've made a terrible enemy, and there's nothing in the world that can possibly save you from me.
I thought we had the upper hand, but it's as if she's barely even threatened by us. It's an act. She's wounded and unarmed. There's nothing she can do to hurt you. I'm not so sure. Don't waver now. As you ready your blades to deliver a lethal blow, she lunges at your legs with the same animal ferocity she used to tear at her arm. Your knife cuts into her again and again as you're tackled to the ground, your body racked with pain as she rips into you with tooth and claw. Forget about trying to rescue her. This is about survival now. Give her everything you've got.
Slay the princess. That's all we can do.
Though your nerves are seizing with pain, you know you've done your fair share of damage as well, your blade having left deep gashes in the princess's back. You seize a moment of hesitation to throw her off of you and shakily push yourself back to your knees. We can still turn this around.
Give up. Finish the job. Run for the stairs and lock her in the basement. Maybe she'll bleed out.
The princess is still chained to the wall. There's nothing she can do to stop you from getting out of it. What if she doesn't succumb to her wounds? Whatever she is so much more dangerous than I thought she'd be. You rush up the stairs and dive past the threshold. You're safe. For now.
Yes, we were still able to run away.
You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade. Okay, we can make this work. She has an awful wound and we have all the time in the world. Playing jailkeeper for a while might make things a little easier. You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off. Your eyelids
Don't sleep. It's
fatigue.
A trap. Don't go to sleep.
But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out?
She's not dead.
It's not like this little door will hold for very long anyways. It's probably a good idea to try to get back on my good side.
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare. As she violently rattles the door, you do your best to shut her out of your mind.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. I won't forget what you did, and I'll never forgive it. You don't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker. No, it doesn't.
Oh no, threaten me all you want. All it does is ease my guilty conscience. Whatever you are, you're not a princess. Bang on the door all you want. It'll only make you bleed out faster.
Do you think a couple of cuts is enough to do me in? I'm not as frail as you think.
You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped, and the door to the basement is ajar, its lock broken, and the table shoved out of the way. Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
Oh no, she's a ghost.
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops working. It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb, and then your feet, and then your legs. You lie prone on the floor of the cabin, unable to do anything but witness her approach. Whose side are you on? Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth. Lying about the facts of the situation doesn't change them.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
She steps closer.
Oh God,
one
her
silent
eyes.
footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills.
You don't look well either. A little bug around the eyes.
What a shame. If you'd only helped me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest. You have seconds left.
I'd say better luck next time. But we both know this is the end, don't we?
It can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends.
It is, unfortunately. Sorry.
I'm sorry, but it is. Everything goes dark,
And you die.
and you die.
Chapter 2, The Nightmare.
You're on a path in the woods.
Yeah. And
You're
we're on a
here to
path to
slay
the
her.
princess to slay her so it doesn't end the world. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, no. Oh, turn around and leave. We can do it again.
This is good. I was worried you might fall for his shit again, but this is good. Whatever answers there are to be found, they aren't here, and they definitely aren't there. Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
Yes, away from death. Quietly continue down the path from the cabin. We can ignore him.
Fine.
We can do
I
it
suppose
again.
You just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
Turn around again and leave again.
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you?
Just
It's
your time.
remarkably
Just your
selfish, If you
time.
ask me, I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies.
Listen. The
Forever.
only one that seems to be dying is us, okay? We're leaving.
But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind up back at the cabin again.
It didn't work this time.
Everything is getting fuzzy.
We killed the narrator.
What's going on? Where are we? It's finally happened, hasn't it? We finally cracked.
Is that the princess we hear breathing? The world around you is unwound. Its physical matter replaced by a textured nothing. You find yourself in the long quiet once again, and the memory returns. There's a distant rumbling, a sound of many sounds. Undulations pulse louder as something other comes close. You already know what dwells in the empty spaces. Feelers probe across the fabric of reality. Extremities find your consciousness and wrap themselves around it. You are no longer alone. Confusion. Why are you here? I am unfinished. Resistance. Fingers drag claws across the glass surface of your soul. Frustration. This vessel is full of you. It is useless to us if it doesn't bring more gifts. Force pushing against your will. No, you cannot go back. Not there. Regret. This world is broken beyond repair. We must weave something new. A wagging finger. There is only so much thread in this place. Do not waste it. I am our only salvation. Denial. Return to your destined path or face the consequences. We got another achievement.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path
It's
is
the
a cure
princess.
here to slay.
Yeah. What should we do now? All right, we can't run away again. It won't let us. I guess we'll just go to the cabin.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie. She will cheat.
Yeah, she'll lie, she'll cheat, she'll manipulate us.
Ignore him.
I got
He
it,
doesn't
I
know
got
what
it. Proceed to the cabin. They say that same thing every time.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The blade is your implement.
Let's see. What are we gonna do this time? All right, this time we're gonna take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Just checking in on you. Hey, I think I'm here to kill you. We're just gonna continue down the stairs.
Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess.
She's so coldly beautiful.
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
I haven't decided yet. Let's see. I haven't decided yet.
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Drop it.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you.
Against your better judgment,
She looks
you step
so
forward
over
to
it.
speak with the princess face to face. Unarmed. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Let's see. A relationship? Are you coming on to me?
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
Oh, goodness. There's people out there who think you're going to end the world. What's your name? How long have you been down here?
Too long.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
How would I get you out of here?
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I
Yeah,
think
she is.
she's
Did you not
suggesting.
remember her biting
Right.
into her own flesh?
She is. I'm sure of it.
Okay, we've talked enough.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
Okay, doesn't let us leave again. What do we do? Okay, I guess we're gonna examine the chains.
Oh, you have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away
Yeah,
down here intended
They're
for her
not
to
gonna let
never
us
see
back
the light of
upstairs. We know
day.
how this works.
They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
The narrator cannot be trusted. And if there isn't a key, we're just gonna go upstairs and then
I'll
just come
be
straight
here.
back. I'll be here.
You
Creepy.
attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut.
Yep, you hear the click
Is
of the
someone else
lock.
here?
Is someone else here? Return to the stairs, because we already know how
You
this
make your way
goes.
back to the bottom of the stairs. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Yes, they sure
the
did.
knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
Slay the princess. We're gonna save her.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the
Ugh.
massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it.
So
The
nasty,
forearm
I
ridge
can't.
through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Thank you. All right, approach the
We
locked
won't
door.
have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
Okay, slay the princess. We're gonna warn her.
Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it. Stop resisting me. I am trying to get you out of here alive.
Resist.
The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Hey, at least we died right away.
Hope it was worth it.
Chapter 2, The Prisoner.
You're on a path in the woods.
We have to slay the princess. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Let's see. Oh, you bastard, you're in for it now.
My tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We've just met for the first time. Don't forget what he did to us the last time around. I wouldn't trust a word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess. We just have to keep trying. I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you two, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. And as far as trying to help her goes, need I remind you how catastrophically dangerous she is to the world at large? I told you about the stakes of this situation less than a minute ago.
Let's assume I'm telling the truth and all of this really did happen. Why should I listen to you? Turn around and leave. Should we leave again? I don't know. What if we go to the cabin this time and then leave? Since it's gonna happen again. Maybe we can leave her again.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink.
Voice of skeptic.
Did you just say wink out loud? No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess.
Proceed to the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Okay, you didn't say anything about the mirror. The mirror doesn't really do anything. We're entering the basement without the knife this time.
I'm afraid I'm going to insist we take the blade. We're in a dangerous situation, and I'm not letting us
See,
go
but he
down
can't
there without
force
a
us to
weapon.
slay her if we don't take the knife.
Are you sure? What if she, I don't know, turns it against us? Which I'm bringing up in a purely hypothetical manner.
Yes, I'm sure.
Turns it against you? She's a prisoner here. She'll only be able to turn it against you if you give it to her.
I mean, technically,
Which
you're
you
the
won't be
reason
doing
it
because
happened,
She's an
narrator.
existential threat to the entire world. Okay? I'm trusting you.
Hey, don't I get to say here? What's the big idea?
Normally, yeah, but not about this. Call it a reflex. We take the knife as we go. Wonderful. You do exactly that.
I won't let me
sweeping
not
the knife
take
from the
it, are you
table before
serious?
proceeding to the basement. Don't worry about it. We have a knife, so what? It's not like we have to use it. No, you don't have to do anything but
You just
do well
forced me to
use
take
it
the blade.
regardless. Moving on.
You don't have to do
The
anything.
door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
Does she remember us?
If she remembers us, she should remember that we
walk
tried to
down the
save her.
stairs and lock eyes with the
Hey,
princess.
this is a new chapter
She
for me.
looks
I've never
up,
had this.
the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap. Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraints? If anything, they'll make your job easier.
Yeah, easier for us to leave her down here.
Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
Let's see, I'm not sure I need to do much of anything. You see how locked up she is? I'm just gonna leave her here.
As if by
Yes!
divine will, just as you finish the thought, you hear a door slam. I'm afraid you won't be leaving until the task is finished. It doesn't matter how many chains she's in, without your intervention, she'll find a way out eventually.
That's not fair.
Unless you deal with her right here, right now, she will remain an existential threat to the entire world. What seems unfair to you is fair for everyone else.
Huh. So it's not even safe to think. I see how it is.
How surprising. They locked you down here too.
Sit with her.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
There's fine. I don't want you to try to kill me again.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
Sit closer.
Do you think this is a game? Do you think these chains take away my say in things?
As you move towards the princess, she
Uh-oh.
stands, her chains clinking as she wraps them around her fists. In an instant, they're around your neck, both of you dropping to the ground as she pulls them taut, bracing her body against yours as you struggle uselessly. The metal chains constrict around your windpipe as the princess heaves with a muscled intensity.
Drop the knife or you die.
What is she doing? We weren't trying to attack her.
I can see where she might have gotten the wrong idea. She doesn't have much agency here. Would we have trusted her if the roles were reversed?
I don't know. How about we think about the nuances of interpersonal relationships when we're not being strangled?
How many times did I warn you she's not to be trusted? But while
We just wanted to
strangulation
look
can be
into
very
her beautiful
distracting,
eyes.
she's not armed, and you have your pristine blade. End her before she ends you.
Drop it.
As your weapon falls pathetically to the floor, the princess releases you from her stranglehold, shoving you away with a swift kick. Your hands test the bruised flesh of your neck as you regain your senses, watching with a dazed expression as the princess snatches up the blade.
That wasn't so hard, was it?
She pulls up her hair, smiling slightly, as she raises the blade to her throat.
You can stay right where you are for this next part.
Is she gonna kill herself?
What is she doing?
She doesn't say another word as she cuts into her own neck.
No.
Wait, what? Watch an uneasy silence.
Her eyes stare forward, unblinking, as she soars through skin, veins, cartilage. At last she reaches bone, the blade grinding audibly against her vertebra as it continues to slice its way through her neck. I'll be damned. She's actually doing your job for you. Why would she do that? Huh.
So that's her play. Killing herself? She isn't dead yet.
Finally, you hear a snap. Her eye twitches.
What?
There's an uneasy silence. She remains motionless for a long moment, her twitching eye the only movement in the room, until at last it stops in an unsettling half-wink. Her head twists slowly to the side, flopping to her shoulder, and her neck
Oh my
opens.
god!
The remaining tissue is not enough to hold the weight of her severed head. It stretches and tears until finally it falls to the floor, completely free. It bounces a few times before rolling to a stop at your feet. Oh no, oh no, oh no, what did we do? Can we put it back? Please tell me we can put it back. The princess's eyes stare up at you. Dead. Congratulations! You saved the world. I hate this. Can we just get out of here now, please? Of course, the princess is slain and the world is saved. Whenever you're ready, you can proceed to your reward.
We should take her with us, don't you think?
What? No, you shouldn't do that. Why would you do that?
I can think of lots of reasons. A trophy, proof of our victory. Hell, we could even give her a proper burial.
I'm still in shock at what just
right?
happened.
You don't need proof, you don't need a trophy, and she doesn't deserve a burial. Just leave.
Even after all that, you're still not satisfied, are you? Something is still motivating you to keep things the way you want them.
I'm just eager to put this all behind us and
Oh
give
my
you
gosh,
your
I can't believe she killed
reward.
herself.
Stop reading into things. The danger has passed. You can relax.
I'm just keeping myself sharp. I'm not so eager to put my guard down.
I am. I'm on team. Let's put
I'm
this
just
all
waiting for
behind
her
us.
head to
So
start
can we
moving and
leave
trying
already?
to bite us. Leave the basement to claim your reward. Take the princess with you. We're gonna take her with us.
Ugh, fine. You pick up the princess's severed head, its neck stump still oozing bodily fluids. Then make your way back upstairs to the first floor of the cabin.
Did you see that? I could have sworn she moved.
Yeah, I don't think she's dead.
She didn't. She's dead.
But what if she's not?
Are you listening to yourself? Do I need to explain to you why decapitation
What if
is
she's
lethal?
not? We're holding her
The door
head.
to your bountiful reward is right in front of you. All you have to do is open it.
Leave the cabin, claim your reward.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is... Wait, no, that's not right.
Well played.
Free a prisoner, talking heads. We got an achievement.
This is the end of the world, isn't it? I always thought I'd at least have time to explain myself before I had to watch it happen. It's already...
Over? Is he gone?
We destroyed the narrator again.
But we're still here. Maybe it wasn't the end of the world after all. Maybe it was just the end of his.
Thanks for carrying me up here. I had to take it on faith that you would know what to do. I'm glad I was right to trust you. So, this is the outside. Maybe it's just my lack of body, but it's colder than I expected.
Oh, there she goes. Bye. I guess we can't mount her on our wall. But you do not get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
Let's see. Of course, you're scared this is the end for you, but it's not the end for me.
What is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful thing I felt before, it feels so much worse now.
No, that can't be right. There has to be something more.
Approach the mirror. You approach the mirror. You gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You've grown. Yay! We're taller. I don't know, or fatter, who knows. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. Proceed to the cabin. Then we're gonna make our way to the princess. Or what's left of her.
When I found you in the long quiet alone, I was terrified. What if you had decided to let me with her?
Okay, I thought it was just gonna be her head, but I guess it also got her body as well. Okay.
But your commitment now is final. Your ability to walk the path of mutual annihilation is vanished with your return. If you still wish to obliterate me, it will have to wait until I am complete. Flickering lights in empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
I am ready. I can't look at this anymore.
I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
Everything goes dark and you die. I saved this so that we could try again. Last time we took her with us. We're gonna see what happens if we just leave the basement and claim our award.
Fine. But if we're leaving, then we're taking the blade. I feel exposed without it.
With your work done, you remove the blade from the princess's corpse and make your way back upstairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. You can think of it as sealing yourself off from an unpleasant chapter of your life. It's all uphill from here.
The windows. Do you see that? We used to be able to see the outside world from up here, but now it's just empty.
Uh-oh.
The door. Check the door.
Open the door and accept your reward.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away.
You don't have to act surprised. We could see this vast emptiness through the windows.
But if everything's gone, does that mean we're not gonna get our reward? This is your reward. An eternity of bliss, if you'll have it. And I suggest that you have it. Okay.
He's like, wow, this was a crappy reward.
This is what's best for everyone. Trust me.
Like hell it is.
That's bullshit. Let us out of here. I don't know. I'm pretty okay with this. I was kind of hoping we get a better ending for saving the world.
This isn't an ending. In fact, now that the princess has been slain, endings are a thing of the past. No, this is the beginning of eternity. Your reward, like I just told you.
Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier.
Decades? No, it can't be decades. We can't go along with this. We can't let him win.
Slay yourself.
You goddamn spiteful bastard. Are you really going to turn down immortality itself just to make me lose?
Why should it matter if we die at this point? Haven't you already gotten what you want?
I don't have to answer that.
That's all we needed to hear.
You raise the blade, then drive it into your heart. You collapse to the floor, everything goes dark, and you die.
You
You're a
genocidal maniac.
You know that, right?
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Chapter 3, The Grey. Okay, so it'll make it a new chapter.
In the woods. See, that wasn't so bad. And now we've got another chance to get to the bottom of things. Bit by bit, we're starting to unravel this place.
There are so many more threads to pull once you stop feeling.
That's a little dark, buddy. You feeling okay?
I'm feeling nothing. And I like that just fine.
He's not wrong. Sentimentality won't help us here. We need scientific rigor. So you've been here before. Of course you've been here before. What count is
I
it
don't
this
ask.
time?
I
Two?
don't ask what you don't want to hear.
It's our third. What gave it away? Your open discussions. You came around on that awful fast. Have you just been pretending to forget every time? I'm afraid not. Whatever other versions of me you've met in those other lifetimes were just that. Other versions of me. I just wish I'd been the first. So you knew how all this worked. Why didn't you ever tell us?
Being the
We could
first would not have
used it
made a
to our
difference. We're
advantage.
stubborn.
That's because there is no using it to your advantage. The more information you have, the harder it will be for you to succeed. You say that, but we didn't have to do anything last time. She slew herself. It was nauseating.
Yeah, that was shocking.
Yes. She cut off her head. And now she's dead. And I doubt she'll be able to do much of anything from the grave. She cut off her head? Her head? Without you doing anything?
Yes. She loves us.
Yes. Then why, pray tell, are you here? Oh, I know that one. We killed ourselves. Why?
Why?
Because you thought trying to stuff us away in a corner for eternity was a suitable reward. Was it not? What better reward is there than eternal bliss? You should have been happy.
It was boring.
We weren't. We were bored. There were still answers that we needed to find. It was actually working. And you killed yourself. I can't believe it. You ruined everything. How does us dying ruin everything? What aren't you telling us? The world doesn't stay saved if you die. And if the world isn't saved, then that means she isn't dead. Oh, now isn't that interesting? I assumed she'd just be a pile of old bones. But perhaps she's not. There's only one way to find out.
I'm afraid to see what she looks like considering she just cut her head off. It's raining. It wasn't raining last time or the time before that. The whole path is different.
Yes, things are different, aren't they? If this isn't the same path in the woods you're used to, that means that her influence is already spreading and you're running out of time. Influence? What's that supposed to mean? It means exactly what I said. Don't overthink it, or you run the risk of making your task so much more difficult than it has to be. And what is that supposed to mean? Forget I said anything.
He's like, I'm
Probably
tired of
already
talking to
make
y'all.
things
You'll
worse,
see.
and I
You'll
need to
find
stop
out.
talking about this now before I definitely make things worse. Oh, come on, tell us your secrets. Haven't we been through enough? Don't we deserve to know? No. Is there a reason it would be raining? If there is, it doesn't matter. If a bit of rain is the best her influence can conjure, then we have nothing to worry about. A drenched corpse is still a corpse.
Oh, goodness. Let's see. Whatever happens next, it seems like all our answers are in the cabin. We're definitely going to the cabin. I want to know what she looks like. I don't think it would let us run away
anyways. You've already heard my words of warning in one of your past lives. You've already managed to slay her once, just don't muck it up this time.
Technically, she slayed herself. We didn't do anything. We just watched.
What we do is entirely up to us. And we have all those mysteries to unravel. Isn't that right? You aren't here to solve a mystery. You're here to save the world. That's what you say. But how can we be sure? We can't be sure of anything except what's right in front of us. Okay, but we should care about the fate of the world. Why?
Why?
Because we should. I don't know. It's important. Is it? Yes. I think. For all we know, the world you're talking about isn't even real. Of course it's real. Where do you think you are? Somewhere else? Maybe we are. This is horribly unproductive.
It feels like
The
we're somewhere
cabin
else. We haven't
your
actually heard
extremely
anybody else.
Important destiny await.
Except for the narrator and the princess. Proceed to the cabin.
As soon as you enter the cabin, you're struck by an overwhelming scent of decay, of mold and death
creepy.
and stagnant water. The once stately wooden building is bloated, its beams dripping with a black ooze of putrefaction, all but the exterior stone walls warped beyond recognition. It must have been beautiful once, but in its ruin, it is beyond repulsive. But you're not alone. You can feel something watching you. There is a figure faintly outlined against the rotting wood of the wall.
I feel like she's gonna be upset we didn't take her with us.
Is that her? It's like she isn't even there. See? We killed her. You're right.
She killed herself.
Maybe she doesn't reset like us. She certainly doesn't look the same as she did last time. Before you can make a move,
She
the figure
disappeared.
is gone, vanishing behind the door on the far side of the room. The door at the end of the room, but there isn't a door. There's a mirror, that's it.
You would think we would understand by now, just not to mention the mirror around the narrator.
The mirror? Is this some kind of joke? Did you all plan this out before dying? There is no mirror. There's the door to the basement, the table, and the pristine blade. Huh. That's strange. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade?
Because she used it to cut her head off and the last time, so she probably still has it.
Maybe it's gone because she already killed herself with it. But we had it with us when we died. And besides, everything else has reset.
We did? I guess I don't remember
the blade
that.
have reset too? Maybe it's because we've already explored that avenue. We've seen what happens when we slay her. Maybe this place has decided we don't need to try that again. I suppose it doesn't matter why the blade is gone, but you're going to have to find it if you're going to do this right. So why don't you march over to that door and make your way down to the basement?
We're not gonna explain because he won't get it. We're just gonna approach it.
You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You must think you're looking at that mirror you mentioned earlier, the one that doesn't exist. Just reach forward and open the door. It's so hazy. You should try and clean it off.
Alright, wipe the mirror clean.
Reach forward and place your hand on the door to the basement. The handle is just a little to your right, and a little down. Yeah, we can see it now. So much for our reflection. We didn't need to see ourselves anyway. I'm much more interested in seeing other things.
Oh god.
No way left to go but down.
Enter the basement, okay.
The door to the basement groans open.
Oh, she looks so
the air
creepy.
is foul and wet, so thick that you can almost feel it settle onto your skin in layers of grime. The stairs are coated with slimy algae, the wood rotted through in places, reeking of fetid vegetation. A wispy figure watches you from the bottom of the stairs, face veiled in shadows, legs submerged up to her shins in dark waters. There she is again. Barely. She's just an old memory. Your eyes lock for a brief moment, then she vanishes around the corner.
I'm sorry about last time. Are we good? I don't have a weapon. There wasn't anything upstairs. Just proceed. We're just gonna proceed. We're just not gonna say
As you descend the
anything.
final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A bloated body floating face down in slowly rising waters, her wrist still bound to the wall by a heavy chain. This cell is a dark and isolated place, with not so much as a window to allow starlight to penetrate the gloom.
That's kind of sad.
See? She's dead. She's not just dead. It looks like she's been rotting. So killing her does stick. Mostly. But if she's dead, then what are we supposed to do? She isn't dead. You clearly just believe she is. Her corpse is floating right in front of us. You can stop it with the mind games. If she's dead, then do we even have to do anything? How can she be a threat to the world like this? Your thoughts are cut short by the sound of a slamming door and a clicking lock.
Narrator, what are you doing?
You turn to see the shade of the princess staring down at you from the top of the stairs.
I wasn't the narrator this time.
So she is dead. Have you never heard of a ghost before? Oh, for the love of... Can we not waste time arguing over the semantics of what is and isn't dead? She is clearly conscious. She clearly just slammed the door on you, and she clearly has a weapon. Your pristine blade sticking out of her chest. This is extremely bad. Catastrophic, even.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, dead or not, what are we supposed to do about her?
What are we supposed to do?
Destroying?
Yeah,
if we
she's
want
a
to be little
ghost. She's
more
already dead.
Death neutral seems off the table. Yeah, this is tricky. But let's talk to her. See what kind of information she has that we don't. But she hasn't said anything. Are you sure she can talk like this?
Bold of you to come back here after what you did.
Okay, she can talk.
You were supposed to take me with you. Didn't I ask you for help? This isn't help.
Yeah, she's mad. Why did you close the door? What's wrong with you? I don't want this. I didn't even kill you. You killed yourself.
But she doesn't answer your question. All she does is watch you in shadowed silence. Do you hear that trickling sound? The water's rising, isn't it?
We're gonna drown.
It is, and it's rising fast. Oh, that's interesting. We've never drowned before. I wonder how it'll feel. Bad, I bet. I don't think dying ever feels good. Yes, how astute. Dying is bad and you should avoid it. How about you stop trying to talk to her and do something instead?
Let me see. I'm going to drown. Please, I'm begging. I'll do anything. Just don't let me drown.
Pathetic.
The water is rising faster now.
Okay,
it's
begging
flowing
doesn't
in from
work.
some unseen place, and judging by the height of the algae on the stairs, it has no intention of stopping anytime soon. You feel it creeping up your back, so cold that it steals the very warmth from your flesh, leaving a smothering numbness in its place. Are you really just going to stand there and let yourself die? Yeah, let's think. Where is it coming from? It's coming from some unseen place.
That's not helpful, narrator.
Does it really matter where it's coming from? Because I can feel it rising. I don't think we have much time to sleuth. Yes, it matters. Maybe we can find a way out. Maybe we can figure out a way to make this work. This is just a puzzle. We can solve it. Some things aren't puzzles to be solved. Sometimes you're doomed from the start. Most people are. Yes, most people are
Most
doomed.
people
But in case
are.
you need reminding, everyone will be doomed forever unless you stop her.
Let's see. Let me out. Are you trying to kill me? Yeah, obviously she's trying to kill you. Rush for the blade. Rush to the door. We're gonna rush for the blade.
The princess eyes you with a disaffected gaze as you rush up the stairs, but you don't make it past the first few steps. The door bursts open, a powerful wave of water crashing down towards you. You're swept up in the flood. Your head slams into the basement wall.
Ow!
You come to a moment later, suspended in darkness, disorientated, only aware of the surface of the water and the emptiness above. And of course, the princess, hovering above you, watching in silence as you struggle to stay afloat in the icy depths. There's no way out. It's so dark and cold. I think our limbs are slowing down. How much longer can we do this?
Until we're drowned?
Just keep breathing. We'll figure this out. Or we won't. It doesn't matter either way. But you don't have time to figure anything out. Something cold and clammy wraps around your ankle.
Oh no.
You're dragged under, only able to take one last hopeful gulp of air before your head is plunged into the freezing depths. As you sink below the surface, you see it. Or rather, you see her.
Ew!
The body you found floating when you first arrived, its hand is locked around your ankle, the heavy chains pulling you both down into the unfeeling, suffocating nothingness. Just get it away from us, please. The past is the past. There's no changing it. There's nothing to fix. And there's not a lot we can do about the present either, not unless we think like we should have been doing all along. But there is no thinking as you drown. You desperately try to pull yourself back to the surface again, and again, and again. Your icy limbs flailing desperately against the grip of her rotting corpse. And all the while her ghastly figure stares down at you, expressionless, as unfeeling as the weight around your ankle.
Your lungs fill with water.
And
but
all
so
this
your
longing
mind
drowned at the hands of a fated spirit.
are not so different.
We got an achievement for that. I didn't mean to talk while she was talking, my bad. Your lungs filled with water the same way mine filled with blood. In the end, we're not so different. And then it goes back to this.
When I found you in the long quiet alone, I was terrified. What if you had decided to let me wither? But your commitment now is final. Your ability to walk the path of mutual annihilation is vanished with your return. If you still wish to obliterate me, it will have to wait until I am complete. Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
That was awesome. So we drowned. At least something different happened. We're gonna go ahead and let her wipe her memory, and then we'll continue on.
I await your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
Everything goes dark, and we die. Okay, I saved this as well. We're gonna slay her and see what happens.
Without a moment of hesitation, you charge the princess, your blade primed to deliver a lethal strike.
I am not a damsel to be helplessly murdered.
Uh-oh.
As you move to strike the princess, she stands, her chains clinking as she wraps them around her fists. In an instant, they're around your neck, both of you dropping to the ground as she pulls them taut, bracing her body against yours as you struggle uselessly.
Drop it, or you die.
I thought this was going to be a safe move, but she's going to kill us. Just listen to her. Do what she says. How many times did I warn you?
We're not doing
not
what
to
she
be
says
trusted?
this time.
But while strangulation can be very distracting, she's not armed, and you have your pristine blade. End her before she ends you.
Slay the princess.
You steel your will and refuse to give in to the princess's demands, ignoring the stars dancing in your eyes and the screaming of your starved lungs. You strike. You fumble your first few attempts, only making surface-level scratches and gouges as your arm flails forward, barely able to obey you. But a single focused blow was all it took. Your blade pierces up through her ribs, slicing through flesh, striking her heart. The chains loosen. The darkness creeping in at the edges of your vision subsides.
None of this was ever very fair, was it? But I did kill you last time. I should have expected you might want some petty revenge. Unfortunately for you, that means you've dug your own grave. You can forget about me ever helping you again, even if it damns us both.
Uh-oh.
And just like that, the princess is slain.
Totally
and the world
rational.
is
Dispatch a
saved.
prisoner. We got
Whenever
an
you're
achievement.
ready, you can proceed to your reward.
I don't like this. It was too easy.
It was not too easy. We almost died. That's right. This was an incredibly difficult task, and you performed it admirably. Let's just get out of here. I don't like looking at her body. Plus, he said there'd be a reward. I'd
The reward
appreciate a
is
reward
nothing.
right about now.
You have the attention span of a fly. How are we supposed to unravel the mysteries of this place if you're so easily distracted by empty promises?
It's better to have a short attention span in a situation like this. There's no use dwelling on the past, especially when it's already set in stone, and especially when your promised reward is not, in fact, empty and is worth all the adversity you've been through to get here.
Fine. But if we're leaving, then we're taking the blade. I feel exposed without it.
With your work done, you remove the blade from the princess's corpse and make your
Interesting.
way back upstairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. You can think of it as sealing yourself off from an unpleasant
It's the
chapter
same
of
thing,
your
except
life.
instead of her
All
killing
uphill
herself, we
from
killed
here.
her. Huh.
The windows. Do you see that? We used to
Yeah,
be
I
able
think
to
it's
see
gonna
the
be the
outside
same as
world from up
before.
here, but now it's just empty. The door. Check the door.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only a world saved from certain
We're
doom
not going to kill
isn't
ourselves
what you
this time,
find.
because we've already done
Instead,
that.
what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away.
You don't have to act surprised. We could see this vast emptiness through the windows.
But if everything's gone, does that mean we're not gonna get our reward? This is your reward. An eternity of bliss.
A lifetime of boredom is your
And I
reward.
suggest that you have
Congratulations.
Okay. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me.
Like hell it is.
All right, let's see. I don't know. I'm pretty okay with this.
So glad you're keeping an open mind. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier.
Decades? No, it can't be decades. We can't go along with this. We can't let him win.
Didn't you hear the narrator? We're happy. I don't want to die again. I didn't like dying last time. I'm going to accept my reward now.
That's great. Congratulations. You've earned it.
More happy time passes, though the word begins to lose its meaning. Time, that is. Not happy. Happy still has plenty of meaning.
The voice's protestations fall on deaf ears.
Eventually you pass into a blissful state of pure existence. Though words like eventually and pass ceased to have any meaning to you long before that shift, you simply exist. Happy.
You know, just because you say
Forever.
we're happy doesn't mean that we feel happy. Oh, good ending. You did it.
No,
you saved everyone.
You stop that. Stop all this nonsense.
You really don't want to be happy, do you?
Restless thoughts have a voice ruin your happy ending.
We still have a blade. Let's use it on ourselves and start over.
He's suggesting you kill yourself. You shouldn't kill yourself when you have an eternity of bliss right in front of you.
Is there really no other way because I don't want to use the blade on myself? Wait, but I liked being happy. Are you really going to take it away from me?
That wasn't real happiness. The truth is still out there for us to find, but we can't find it here.
Listen, skeptic. Don't take our happy ending away. Is there really no other way because I don't want to use the blade on myself?
If it makes it easier for you, I can do it. Let me have
No.
it.
Give the blade to the voice of skeptic. Sorry, but we're not doing that.
Don't apologize. I'm sorry.
Wait, why are you sorry?
He's gonna do it anyway.
Your body lurches as your heart suddenly stops beating. Are you killing us?
You'll forgive me eventually.
You goddamn spiteful bastard. Are you really going to turn down immortality itself just to make me lose?
Why should it matter if we die at this point? Haven't you already gotten what you want?
I don't have to answer that.
That's all we needed to hear.
It turns out that it doesn't take too long to die after your heart stops beating. You collapse to the floor, everything goes dark, and you die. You're a genocidal maniac.
Again?
You know that, right?
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Back to the gray.
You're on a path.
I mean, I suppose we could try something different with
wasn't
this
so
as well
bad.
and see
And now we've
what
got another
happens.
chance to get to the bottom of things. Bit by bit, we're starting to unravel this place.
There are so many more threads to pull once you stop feeling.
That's a little dark, buddy.
You feeling okay? I'm feeling nothing. And I like that just fine.
Sure. We've already seen what happens if we slay her. We might as well explore our surroundings, get a lay of the land.
Hey, it's actually letting us leave.
Let's see what we can find. It's bound to be more interesting than doing the same thing over again. Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind up at the cabin, but everything is getting fuzzy.
I didn't think it was going to let us turn and leave. That's why I didn't read it before clicking it, but okay.
What's going on? Where are we? I don't know. But it feels like home.
Did we do this? Is this the end of the world? Was there ever even a world to end?
The world around you is unwound. Its physical matter replaced by textured nothing. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. Memory returns. There is a distant rumbling, a sound of many sounds. Undulations pulse louder as something other comes close. That witch dwells in the empty spaces, contracts across the edges of your mind again. She is furious. Betrayal. Every door you close on me is a door you close on yourself. You want to linger here, entwined with the creature you taught to hate you forever? Eternity never ends. Cold spite, our infinite shrink into something less. I hate you, 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 I hate you. Okay, we get it, you hate us. Anger. Why have you come back? We got an achievement.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Oh, I didn't mean to push it twice, but we're here to slay her in case you guys forgot. Our job is to slay the princess. Let's see. We can't leave again because we tried that last time, so I guess we're just gonna make our way to the cabin.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie.
She will cheat.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't.
Okay, proceed to the cabin. They say the same thing every time on that part.
The blade.
All right, do we want the blade or do we not want the blade? That 'tis the question. Take the blade or enter the basement. Problem is, I don't really know what I could do differently for either one. I guess take it.
You take the blade from the table.
Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. Don't let it fool you.
Hi.
Don't be a stranger. And it's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You walk down the stairs
And lock
and
eyes,
lock eyes
with the
princess. She's so coldly beautiful. Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Okay, yeah, you caught me. I'm here to slay you.
That isn't a good idea. Just drop the knife, and maybe the two of us can talk things out.
She's right, we shouldn't. We should just drop the blade. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Drop it.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
I don't really want to
Against your
talk to you,
better judgment,
okay?
You will be fine.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Okay, we've talked enough. Everything else is the same.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
All right, Slayer.
Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through. A moment of distraction
she
and
was
hesitation
prepared.
is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw. It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been fractured.
Oh, well, hey, she punched us. We didn't have any knives popping out of her body this time.
Holy shit, that hurts! Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal footing. Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit. We can still turn this around.
Let's see. Flee luck at the base. I won't let her. Give up or finish the job. Ooh, finish the job.
You and the princess
We've
stare
already
at each
started.
other, both gasping for breath, equally exhausted. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can at least make sure that she won't make it out of here either. Excuse me? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone is still standing right now. Can you not feel all those ruptured organs bouncing around in there? If the princess doesn't do our friend in herself, internal bleeding is certain to finish the job. The two of you clash for the final time.
I love how she's just punching us and we're stabbing her.
She delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling forward and sinking your blade deep into the princess's heart.
Oh.
The two of you fall to the floor.
This was fun.
The princess gasps, her voice an unhealthy rasp as her lungs start to fill with blood.
You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder, do you really think this is the end?
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark.
And we die again.
And you die.
Chapter 2, The Adversary.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her.
Yes, we're here to slay her. Let's see, proceed. We can leave this time. Oh my gosh, yes, we're gonna leave her again. We're totally doing it again.
Before you go any further, she will lie.
She'll manipulate us.
Cheating doesn't sound like her at all. Not that it matters. It's not like she can lie or cheat in the middle of a fight.
I have to say, mad respect though. I mean, using her fist, like we literally had a knife and she killed us just by using her fist. We are weak. And then again, I'm pretty sure the princess is like, I don't know, like a mystical creature because she can do almost anything. I mean, she can turn into an animal. She can have knives come out of her skin. I mean, she's powerful, that is for sure, but it's still kind of funny.
Are you sure about that?
The point of my warning wasn't to start an argument over what circumstances the princess is capable of lying in. It was to give you some broadly applicable advice. The princess will do and say whatever she thinks it will take to get her out of there. So don't trust her. Ever. Are we clear?
Are we clear?
Let's just get on with it already.
Proceed to the cabin. Okay.
The cabin is tighter than its exterior would suggest.
We're not taking the blade this
Its
time.
cold stone walls press in on you, as if trying to forcefully direct you towards your destination. The only furniture of note is a black iron altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement.
We're not taking it.
You'll need it if you want to do this right.
No, we're not doing it. Let's see. Enter the basement.
No knife this time. Right then, fisticuffs it is. More
Fisticuffs?
fair to her anyway. Wouldn't want to feel like we cheated our way to a win.
We're all gonna punch each other this time.
As long as you can still get the job done. And don't forget that the blade is waiting for you upstairs if you happen to change your mind. The door to the basement creaks open,
Ooh, we're in a
revealing
cave.
a rough stone staircase, its walls pressing at your sides and tightening as you descend. The air seeping from below is heavy and oppressive, with an almost sulfuric odor to it. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her fierce voice carries up the stairs.
Is that another challenger? Finally. It's been ages since I've had a good fight.
She's like, yes, we're gonna fist fight again. Let's go.
Good. Sounds like my kind of princess.
As much as I appreciate the enthusiasm, just make sure you don't let your bloodlust get to your head. You need to stay focused and keep your wits about you. Remember, you're here to slay the princess, not to have a good fight.
But this sounds so fun.
As you descend the final step, the form of the princess
Hey, I don't
comes
think
into
we've
view.
seen her in this
A
form.
large shackle leading from her wrist to the basement wall. Looks like she could rip those chains out of the wall without a second thought.
Oh, it's you again. I'd been hoping you'd find your way back here. Good to see that death doesn't stick for either of us. But no little knife this time, huh? No. I hope you're not just here to chat. I've been itching for a rematch.
Don't worry, I'm always up for a good fight. In fact, the only reason I came down here without a weapon is because having a knife fight is felt unfair.
Then why are you just standing there? Fight me.
Let's do it. Ah, yes. Fine, let's do it. Let's attack her unarmed.
I guess we'll have to see how this goes. Your hand's empty. You charge the princess.
Quit the pessimism, will you?
Right? It's almost like you don't want us to beat her. No, look, I'm rooting for you. I really am. I'm just doing my best to keep my expectations grounded. You don't have a weapon. You're supposed to have a weapon.
We'll be fine. Just watch.
You attack, fists
She better
raised,
not
and
cheat.
the two of you fall
We
into
already know
combat.
she has knives in her
Your
body. She
clawed
better not
fingers
cheat.
tear into her flesh, and her fists and elbows return the blows in kind, bruises blossoming in her wake, and blood vessels rupturing in vivid sprays of gore.
Not bad. You're tougher than I thought you'd be.
Hear that? She respects us. We can pull this off. Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
But without that knife, you'll never be enough.
Her knee connects with your sternum with a loud,
Ow.
violent crack. The wind leaves your lungs, and as you struggle for breath, you can feel something flooding in to fill the space. Hot blood, suffocating you from the inside.
You have to want to kill me. Like this.
You don't so much as see her movement before she deals the killing blow. Everything goes dark,
And we die.
and you die. Are you serious? That's it? That's it.
Like hell it is. We're not giving up that easy. Now get up.
Oh, voice is stubborn. Yes.
Didn't you hear me? You're dead. There's no getting up from that.
Get up.
Wait, no, that's not right. You're...
Not dead anymore.
Yes. Your eyes bolt open and you push yourself back to your feet. You're... alive. The princess takes a step
She looks
back
so
and
shocked. She's like,
looks
oh my
down at her
god.
pulp-covered fists.
I could have sworn I killed you. That's your face splattered on the walls and dripping from my hands.
What? Wait, no, my face. You're joking, right? You're exaggerating. I still have my face, right?
You don't. I don't even know how you're talking to me.
You raise your hands and touch the front of your head. She's not wrong.
What? What did she do? What are we missing?
I wonder what we look like to her.
Who cares if we're missing our face? We can fight just fine without one.
Attack the princess.
The two of you clash once more. It's not as one-sided as I feared, but it's still a far cry from what I'd hoped.
She looks more
Her
like
injuries,
uneasy
though
than
numerous,
confident
pale
this
in
time.
comparison to yours, and the wounds you've inflicted upon her barely seem to have slowed her down. As much as you're trying to ignore it, adrenaline pushing you far past your limits, every movement burns.
This is getting boring. Are you even trying to keep up with me?
She lands another devastating... no. Lethal.
No, no. Will it let us get up again?
Everything goes dark. Again.
You know what I'm going to say.
Yes. Oh, voice of stubborn is my
Are we
favorite.
not dead?
Yeah, we're not dead. Come on,
Get up. Yes,
You
get
just keep
up.
going. We're bound to wear her down eventually.
Are you sure she can't do what we're doing right now?
There's only one way to find out.
Get up.
Once more, you push yourself back to your mangled feet.
She looks
How are you
nervous.
still moving? How are you still doing anything? Bodies aren't supposed to look like that.
Oh, I wish we knew what we looked like.
An uncharacteristic terror seems to grip her voice.
Have we ever seen her afraid before?
No, we haven't.
This is how we win. We can do this forever.
I'm going to put you out of your misery. I don't like looking at you like this. You're all twitching and wrong.
You're all twitching and wrong.
I'd like to see her try. We're invincible.
Her fist flies towards where your face used to be, your twisted body incapable of moving out of the way. And then you see nothing.
Everything goes dark and we die?
We'll see.
Yes, something like that. Well, don't you have something to say?
Yeah, I quit.
No, I didn't hear no bell. Oh, we got an achievement though. Chapter 3, The
You're on a
Fury.
path in the woods, and at the end of that path,
All right,
Change of plans. We're taking the blade this time.
Now, why would we ever do that?
Because she absolutely destroyed us?
She sure did. But what a great way to go. We lost our face.
We lost our face. He sounded so concerned.
Yes, it was hilarious. It was horrifying.
Does it matter? We lost.
Oh, why so glum, Rage Boy? I thought you were brave.
I thought you were proud.
Was all that bravado just hot air?
Look, it was just... The fight was better the first time. And the first time, we had a weapon.
Well, this is just great.
Let me cut to the chase. Clearly, you've already been here.
Yes, multiple times actually.
Yeah, you think? What does here even mean, though? You've told us about the path of the princess and all of that already, but this is a very different path than the last one.
That's a good point. Everything here is a little off.
Yeah, it looks kind of gooey. I don't even know what happened to the forest, but it looks kind of like, I don't know, just slimy.
Yes, precisely. And if you'd given me 2 seconds to finish my thought, I would have said that. Oh, you're actually letting me talk now. Great. If you've already been here, it means you've seen things you aren't supposed to have seen, and you know things that you aren't supposed to know. This doesn't look like a path in the woods if reality seems distorted. So you knew this could happen. You knew we'd be able to restart like this.
Look, if the world around you is changing, especially all the way out here, then that means you're nearing the point of no return. Whatever happens next, that's it. There won't be any more do-overs. So you'd better take things seriously.
Feels like I'm being pulled in 100 different directions. You'd better all listen when the time comes to make a choice.
100? Where are you getting that from? We're talking 4, maybe 5 directions tops. At least for now. I'm sure I can come up with more if you give me enough time.
I don't think you have much to worry about. You're still the one in charge here, and I don't think that's ever going to change.
If I don't slay her, if I just stay here or do anything else and we hit this point of no return, then what happens?
Then what happens? Have you even been listening? It's the end is what happens.
But the end tends to happen no matter what. We literally just got the good ending as soon as we started, and it didn't really seem like a good ending.
Yeah, but is there something after the end?
No, there's not.
How am I supposed to know? The end means finality. It's not like I can just peek on over to the other side and tell you what it's like there, if there even is a there.
Isn't it your job to know things? Maybe we need a better narrator who can actually answer our questions.
Yeah, you're fired, narrator. We need a new one.
It's my job to guide you through your task and to state the facts of what's happening. That hardly requires omniscience. And besides, I'm the best you're going to get, because I'm the only one here who can do my job.
No matter what happens next, it seems like our answers are at the cabin. We might as well proceed. I want to see what she looks like.
It's good. We're all on the same page. It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up at the cabin on the hill. You'll find the princess within, as I'm sure you already know. End her.
That's it? No final words of advice?
I'd rather not waste any more time. I'm sure that any advice I'd give at this point is something you've already heard.
Don't be so hard on yourself. We all wind up in creative ruts now and then. I'm sure if you put your mind to it, you could think of something worth telling us.
All right, proceed to the cabin. All right, here we go.
The interior of the cabin is a place that feels long forgotten.
Oh, it looks like we're going inside like a brain. Oh, this looks so cool.
Carved marble columns holding a high arched roof, vaulted windows letting in the weak starlight. But that is how it was.
There's not even a door, it's
Now
just the
there is
mirror,
a
so we
growth
have to go
that
to
has
the mirror
overtaken
first.
it. A viscous fluid seeps from cracks in the stone walls, and it congeals into chaotic streaks of writhing nerves and wet clumps of living meat. That's horrible.
That's horrible.
Nice. Makes the room feel alive, doesn't it? The only furniture of note is a pulsating pedestal, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
We'll need it if we want to do things right.
I say we leave it to rust. Let's not make the same mistake twice. We could have won if we had it last time. Take it.
Stubborn, he's so funny. All right, we're gonna take it this time.
It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good. Nothing feels better than gripping cold steel. That's no fun. You're not even holding it right. Oh. And how do you suggest we?
How do you hold a blade wrong?
Out of the way. Shut up, both of you. We're holding it fine.
Oh, it's that mirror again, and this time it's blocking the door.
Mirror? There is no mirror. There's the pedestal on the door.
There
to
is
the
a
basement.
mirror, narrator. I know. Every time you say, there's no mirror.
Oh, are we playing a game where we lie to people about things? That sounds fun. I respect and admire all of you, and I'm so happy to be here. What? There's clearly
What?
a mirror. I don't know what to tell you. There isn't a mirror because I would know if there was a mirror. You're either seeing things or you're confused on the definitions of door and mirror. Or you're seeing things. That seems far more likely. What are you trying to say exactly? It means you're hallucinating. It's in our way. Let's just smash it.
Approach the mirror. Man, I wish it actually had an option to smash it.
You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it. As if you don't see it. You really don't, do you? How strange. Stick. Grimy. Why don't we wipe it clean? Wipe what clean? Are you still on about that mirror? It's not real. I'd know about it if it were real. No, we can't doubt our eyes like that. It has to be real. Does it matter if it's actually real or not? Talking about it gets under his skin. That's all that matters. We should talk about it even more. Let's just smash it and
We
get
should
it
talk
over
about
with.
it even
I'm
more
ready
just to get under his skin.
We won't be able to see what's in there if we smash it. Do whatever you want with it.
I want to
Mirror
smash
isn't
it.
real.
Please give me the
How you handle
option,
it
please.
Doesn't matter, aside from wasting dangerous amounts of time.
Wipe it clean. Smash it.
Bring your fist crashing down against the door leading to the basement. As if on command, it slowly slides open, scraping against the stone floor, its ancient hinges moaning as it reveals the dim path ahead. Why am I not surprised? You
All
step
right, we're going
forward
in.
into the darkness. The stairs leading down to the basement are
We're
at once
coming,
both
my
narrow and
love.
grandiose.
Prepare to
The high
die.
vaulted ceiling stretches up into a gloom beyond your sight, while walls wet with tumorous growths press in uncomfortably at your sides. You feel both unprotected and trapped, at once exposed and claustrophobic. The air is thick, its odor an oppressive
What if we're
violence.
like going into a
Metallic scent
belly?
of fresh blood,
belly of a
twisting
beast.
The nauseating embers of charred remains. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice, a bellowing rage, roars up the stairs.
So you've returned. Do you intend to weakly claw your fingers across my skin? Or have you finally decided to try and kill me properly? I think you'll find it won't be so simple. I've changed. The way your flesh felt grinding beneath my fist, it woke something in me.
Uh-oh.
That wasn't a fight. It was something worse. I'm something worse now. Why don't you come down and see what you've made of me?
Oh, I'm scared, but also intrigued.
Do you hear that? Sounds like we got to her last time. Let's keep pushing, see what else we can make happen.
Continue down the stairs.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs.
Oh, I can't wait to see what she looks like.
The chamber's walls are painted in blood.
Oh!
A deep, sickening red that drips down in
Ew.
clotted streams onto the charred corpses that make up its floor. This place reeks of torment, of ripped skin and burning bone.
Look, we can see her rib cage. We can see her heart. Ooh, ew.
The princess stands in its center, muscles flayed and bare and weeping, draped in a tattered dress of her own skin. Her heart beats from its place in her open chest.
Do you know what I'm going to do to you?
Let us live.
There's not so much a moment of hesitation before she steps forward. Her chains pull taut, holding fast as she strains against them. The cuff around her wrist digs deeper into her skin. Blood drips from the place where metal meets flesh. And then, with a nauseating sound, the skin tears. It plops to the ground. She pulls her red, glistening arm free from her
Leave it to her to make herself look even worse.
She is loose, and she is coming for you.
She wants us to be afraid because she wants us to think she can make us suffer. Don't give her the satisfaction.
That's right. No fear. She's bigger than the last time, but she's pulling herself apart.
I'm glad we brought the blade this time.
Work for us.
Let's see. What happened to you? Wait, we don't have to do this. I'm sorry. Please just listen. We're just gonna do it. Play the princess.
Your heart full of fear. You charge towards the princess. Your eyes locked on each other.
She looks creepy. I love it.
Your very essence in one blow.
It's now or never. Let's make it a beautiful blaze of glory.
With a horrifying squelch, you are unwound.
We're unwound. What do you mean?
I hope you weren't planning on dying. We're going to make this last forever. Huh. I feel cold. I've never felt cold before.
No, I wanted to keep going. No. That was it? I wanted, what's his name? The voice is stubborn. I wanted the voice of stubborn to be like, not so fast. True to her word, you do not die by her hand, nor will you ever. It's time for you to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Let's see. It's going to be okay. Just trust me. We've been here before and you always get scared.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. Yeah, don't look at it. I don't like that thing.
Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
I love the voice of stubborn. He's my favorite voice so far of the entire game. Let's see. It's not the end. Whatever's on the other side is going to be nice. I'll see you on the other side. It's going to be okay. I like whatever going to be on the other side is going to be nice.
Okay. If you say so.
I like the positiveness.
Maybe there'll be a good fight there. Maybe we'll find her again.
Maybe we can still fight her.
You're not messing with us, right?
Approach the mirror. You approach the mirror. We gaze into our reflection. You've withered. Uh-oh. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. We proceed to the cabin, and we make our way to the princess once more.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction. A mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
You can't be a contradiction. Contradictions don't exist.
And yet my waters flow and my streets bustle. There are no words that can describe me into non-existence. There is no logic that can bind my multitudes. I am everything that you have known me to be, but I am also none of it.
We're gonna go ahead and have her wipe our memories.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Everything goes dark, and we die. Okay, I saved this as well to see what would happen if we just turned around and left.
Oh, you've got another thing coming if you think you can just turn around and leave.
As you step towards the stairs, you hear the heavy creak of straining metal, and then a snap. She's loose. You have to make a decision, and you have to make it fast.
Run like hell.
You do your best to scramble up the stairs before the princess can reach you. You practically feel her steamy breath on the back of your neck, but you manage just barely to throw yourself over the threshold and slam the heavy stone doors behind you. You're safe, if only for a moment.
No way! We actually made it out?
The blade. Take the blade from the altar.
Take it.
You take the blade from the altar.
Finally.
Stubborn.
Do you think this door is enough to hold me? You're not getting out of this. I don't care how many things I have to break. I'm getting the fight I want.
I am
cabin shakes
Oh,
as the
here we
princess
go.
throws herself against the basement door.
It's huge and made of stone. We're fine, right?
Of course we are. Any second now she's gonna break through that entryway. And we're finally
He's like,
going to
"Oh,
get to
I'm
do
gonna get my
what we came
revenge."
here to do.
Impact shakes the cabin, a massive gash splitting its way up the stone doors.
She comes.
The doors explode.
Oh, here we
outwards,
go.
Shards of stone clattering against the walls as the princess emerges from the basement.
At least you finally have a weapon. Good.
We're doomed.
In a fit of violence, the princess explodes across the room and closes the gap between you. You do your best to defend yourself from her onslaught, but you're sorely outmatched. For every wound you inflict on her, she inflicts 2 on you until, finally, you're no longer able to so much as stand. Your body is giving out.
Giving out? No, nobody's giving out. We're just getting
Yes,
started.
Stubborn's not gonna let this happen.
Be delusional. It's over.
You fall to your knees.
Is that it? You're supposed to be tougher than this. Come on, get up. Keep fighting me.
No, this isn't right. Listen to me. Listen to her. We can do this.
We can't.
Why won't you get up?
She kicks you in the chest, splinters from your shattered ribs stabbing into your heart and lungs. Your vision starts to swim. Finally, her face, twisted into an expression of disappointment and fury, fades. Everything goes dark.
I was hoping the
And you
voice of
die.
Stubborn would let us keep coming back. Chapter 3, The Eye of the Needle. Ooh, a different chapter. We haven't had this chapter yet.
You're on a path in the wood. If you weren't so damned afraid of what she'd do to you, we wouldn't have died back there.
I agree with Stubborn. We let her kill us.
Fear is good. Fear keeps us alive. We died because you didn't have enough of it. So what? You'd have us cower in a corner? No, but that place suits her better than it suits us. She's big. We can't hope to find holes and openings down there. We need more room if we're going to survive. Are you suggesting luring her into the woods? Do you have any idea how dangerous that would be? If you lose sight of her, if she manages to slip away, that's it. Game over for everyone, yourself included. Are you not challenging us on all the looping? Have you known about it the whole time? Are you the same one we've been talking to since the beginning? Sorry to disappoint
You already
but
know
I'm
the
sure
answer to
must
that is
feel like a
no.
grand revelation, but that's not what's going on here. We've never met. Then what is going on? What's going on is that you'd only be saying the things you've been saying if you'd already been here, and if you'd already seen things you weren't supposed to have seen. It doesn't matter. We could go in circles forever. I don't like staying still for too long. Let's get to the cabin, see this through. It's good to know that at least one of you is still capable of reason. We may have the same destination.
I wonder what the
but not
cabin's
the
gonna
same.
look like.
You are still an other, and I don't trust you. Well, fortunately, you have an entire trip through the woods to reconsider that. There's nothing to reconsider. We're all for violence here, are we? I haven't signed off on anything yet. Violence is the answer here, but the method is equally important to the act. You can't let her leave the cabin. It's like I said, all just circles. Instinct tells me we need space, and I trust instinct. Nothing else to say. Not for me.
We haven't talked enough about how different this place is. I wouldn't even call these woods. It's like her influence is poured out into the world.
It's evidence of one of many ticking clocks. You can't let her spread any further. Things are always changing. She changed, the cabin changed, we've changed. Why wouldn't the woods change too? Because they're not supposed to have changed. This is supposed to be a path in the woods.
Well, they did change. I don't know what to tell you.
It means something's gone horribly wrong.
Oh, goodness. Silently proceed to cabin. No matter what happens next, it seems like all our answers are in the cabin. Let's just go to the cabin.
It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up the hill at the cabin. I hope you've given serious thought to your predicament. No last advice for us? No words of warning? From what I gather, you've heard it all before.
Thank
There's no
you.
use screaming into the wind. I don't know. Screaming sounds pretty good right about now. I could use a little catharsis. catharsis is for when we're finished. For now, we need to hold it out in front of us, something to chase.
I love how the voice of the hunted he kind of whispers a little. All right, proceed to the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is suffocating.
Oh, look at
tight.
the blade.
More of a glorified tunnel than a building. Its stone walls squeeze against your sides, leaving you no choice but to press forward. The only furniture of note is an iron altar jutting out from the wall. A pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you're going to do this right. See? We have even less space than before. We need space or she'll kill us. And the only space is out there. Take it.
Oh, but there's no way forward. Take the blade. We're taking it.
You take the blade from the altar. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good. There's no overcoming her without it. We need every part of us to survive, and that steel claw is as much a part of us as any.
Approach the mirror.
Oh, it's a bit.
Smash it.
You bring your fist crashing down against the door leading to the basement. It swings open, scraping against the floor as it reveals the dim path ahead. Before you is what may as well be a sheer cliff face. There are enough footholds that you'll be able to clamber your way to the bottom, but it will require careful effort.
I wonder what she's gonna look like. Is she gonna look the same, different?
The air hissing up from below is warm and wet, like the breath of an enemy locked in close quarters.
If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Her voice, bold and fierce and impatient, echoes from the chamber below.
Do you have more fight in you than last time? That was such a disappointing show. I know you can do better than that.
Goad her. Rile her up. If she's angry, she'll make mistakes.
Let's see, if you want to fight, then how about you come and get one?
That's not how this works. I'm all chained up, remember? How about you come down here and fight me?
Oh, please. We all know you can break out of those chains.
Were nothing to her last time. There'll be nothing to her this time. But we need to show ourselves first to make her boil over. Fine by me.
Continue to the basement landing. I was hoping we could
Nowhere to go but down. You start the difficult journey, gripping the stone, lowering yourself foot by grueling foot. But soon, there is solid ground beneath you. Remember every crack and crevice. You'll need to be faster than her. You turn to face what lies at the end of the narrow tunnel. The princess, imposing and tightly muscled, grins back at you from the darkness.
Okay, so she doesn't necessarily look different, but she definitely looks angrier.
Her face widens into a broad grin.
There you are, knife in hand. How thrilling. Attack me, bleed me, twist the blade in my flesh, break your bones against my body. I want a real challenge this time.
We can't get that close. She'll kill us in the tight space, steel claw or not. Make her come to us, stand beyond her chains, and let her become frenzied. She'll break them. Then we run.
I really don't like the sound of this.
It's the only way we live.
Well, what are you waiting for? If we're gonna do this right, you can't be scared. You need to want this as much as I do. So go on. Make the first move. Don't keep me waiting.
Why? Don't you want to be free? Why do you insist on fighting me to the death down here in the dark?
This again? What does free even mean? Here and there, none of that matters. I'm always in a body. I'm always in one place. Why do you act like you know me better than I know myself? I had what I wanted. I had something perfect and it ended. And now that it's gone, you just keep dangling it in front of me. It's more than teasing. It's cruel. It's cowardly. It's selfish. I know what I want. And I'm sick of waiting.
Bloody desire in her eyes, the princess rushes forward, ignoring her chains as they bend and snap. Run.
Run.
Without hesitation, you turn back the way you came and scramble up the ledge towards the tunnel entrance. As you near the top, hands desperately clawing at jagged stone, you glance back. The princess is right on your heels. She doesn't bother to scale the wall as you do, instead digging deep into the rock of the cliff face with her fingertips in her rabid pursuit.
Anywhere you go, I will follow.
Good.
Good.
You reach the ledge and hoist yourself up into the tunnel, the cabin door finally in sight, at once within your grasp and infinitely distant.
What is all of this for? What's the point? You and I are always going to end in violence, so why bother to run? I know what I am. Why can't you be the same? Little bird, where do you think you're going?
We're almost there.
I don't think she's gonna let us make it.
And we'll take the fight with us. Your skin hums tight with adrenaline as you burst through the cabin door and roll onto the grass.
So we did make it?
You glance back at the cabin as the princess, singular in her desire to destroy you, explodes through the doorway. You are walking a dangerous path. If you waver once, it's all over. So get it right.
There's nothing left to slow me down. Do you think this is better for you? Do you think this space gives you an edge? Then show me! Show me that you've been worth all the room you've taken up in my head!
Do it! Be swift, strike true, be where she's not. Let your body move you.
You've fallen right into my trap.
Oh, we'll see about that. Traps aren't real. The only thing that's real is bloodshed.
She charges, fully determined to end you in a single move. Left, now. As the princess strikes, your body swerves to the left. She overextends, stumbling as her balance shifts unexpectedly. Strike. Before you can finish the thought, you lash out, the blade slicing through her leg. She turns to swing again. Right. You move out of the way, but this time it's not quite as clean. You can feel a bruise already blooming where her elbow crashed into flesh. It's nothing. A scratch. Yes, it could be worse. And you managed to gift her another cut in return. I'll be damned.
We're actually gonna pull this off, aren't we?
Don't get too cocky. Don't. Careful.
You just might. But don't let it get to your head. Not until it's over.
I agree with the narrator for once. Don't let it get to your head.
Yes, finally! This is the hole I felt in my heart. This is what I've needed. This is what I've been missing. This is how it always needed to end. Both of us giving it our all, beating and bleeding each other to death.
The two of you engage in a devastating flurry of blows, each of you wounding the other again and again. She's stronger, but you're faster, and the deeper the both of you fall into your lethal dance, the more your edge shines over hers. She's slowing down, blood pouring from wounds, splattering at her feet, leaving her weak and unsteady. More! Keep going! We can't stop now! You spy an opening, but this time she's waiting for you. She lets you sink the blade deep, trapping you in place long enough to wrap you in her impenetrable arms. You're slammed to the ground. Nothing! These blows are nothing to us!
I love the voice of Stubborn. He's like, I will not give up.
But her gambit wasn't enough to close the gap. It wasn't enough to kill you. She stares you down.
It wasn't enough to kill us?
A splash of blood as she gasps for breath.
You've outplayed me, haven't you? Something feels wrong. Something.
And? Then what happens?
And she disappears into nothingness again. Okay, now we meet with her again.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction. A mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
At least she still has her head. Okay, we're just gonna have her erase our memories.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Everything goes dark and we die. A tunneling vessel will bring the eye of the needle to her. We got an achievement.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here,
And we're here to
her.
slay the princess. I've got to say, I was a little worried that since I found the good ending so quickly, I was worried it was going to be hard for me to find scenarios, I guess, that I haven't already done. But everything we've done so far, I've never seen before, so it's so exciting. Let's see. Silently continue to the cabin.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin.
Since we're withered, if
You'll
I
find the
remember right,
princess
I
within.
think this is our last scenario until we figure out what ending we get.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie. She will cheat. We're not going to go
yep.
through with this, right?
She's gonna manipulate us. Proceed to cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare.
Are we taking the blade
the air
this
is
time?
stale and musty, and the floor and walls
There's
are
really not
painted
much
in
we
a
can
fine
do
layer
without
of
taking the
dust.
blade because
The only furniture
we've done.
of note.
I feel like we've
is a
done all
plain
of those
wooden table.
scenarios.
Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
I think we're taking the blade.
is your implement.
Take the blade.
You take the blade from the table.
Enter the basement.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Or something. Let's see. Nuh-uh.
Then drop the knife.
We should. It'll go a long way to building trust with her. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her.
Ooh, what are we gonna do? 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 I don't know. Tighten it.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
Who's afraid of little old me? You should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late.
End this.
End this.
I'm not dropping it?
Then I'm not talking to you.
Squint at the princess while holding the blade.
You stare at the princess, squinting. She squints back. The two of you are going to do this forever, aren't you?
Yes. Squint harder.
You squint even harder. So does she. At least nobody's dying right now. You're going to have to make a choice. You can't
We'll just
keep
have a squinting war
forever.
instead of a blinking
Eventually,
war.
someone is going to have to blink.
Oh, I guess we are having a no blinking thing. Ah, we can't keep doing it. Drop the blade or slay the princess. Slay her?
Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through. A moment of distraction and
I feel
hesitation
like I should have
is all
dropped the
she needed
blade.
to sidestep your
We probably
thrust
should have tricked
and
her.
deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw. It
Yes,
feels
we've
like
already
you've been
got
hit with a
this. This is where she
sledgehammer.
beats us up with her
You can feel
fist. We've done
bone
it
grinding
again.
on bone where your jaw has been fractured. Holy shit, that hurts! Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal footing. Your blade slashes
dang,
through the
we did
air
it
again and
again.
again, and her
I
fists
spoke too
connect with your body
soon.
as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit.
This is what I get for saying, ooh, I've gotten a different scenario every time.
We can still turn this around.
I should learn to zip it. Zip it. Wait. Wait. Oh, last time we finished the job, we can give up. Hang on.
Are you serious? As internal bleeding sets in, the blade falls from your trembling hands, clattering to the ground uselessly. You lacked the will to finish the job, your bruised and broken body falling to its knees before her. The princess, exhausted, chest heaving with heavy breaths, tosses the blade away from you. This is the end, isn't it?
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
She plants her foot on
She's
your
gonna
chest
step on
and
us?
pushes you onto your back, the air leaving your lungs in a heavy puff.
Well, at least we get a different scenario.
And then she brings her knee to your throat. She leans into it with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess, shattering your windpipe and leaving you starved for breath.
It's too bad. I was looking forward to some company.
Everything goes dark,
And we die.
and you die.
Chapter 2, The Tower.
You're on a path in the woods. And at the
On
end
that
of that
path is a
is that
cabin
you're
where
here
there's a
to
princess.
slay
We have to slay her. Yes. Let's see. She's going to kill me again.
Again? People don't die twice. You haven't even met the princess, and I hardly think she'd be capable of killing someone as skilled and courageous as yourself. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. Or does it matter what he knows?
The voice
There's
of the
nothing we can do
broken.
to
I just
stop
wanted to
her.
see what voices were here.
She's just going to kill us again. She is not going to kill you unless you let her. But slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time second-guessing yourself.
Let's see. Ooh, turn around
You
and
have already
leave.
committed to my completion. You cannot go further astray.
She won't let us. She won't let us. No, she won't let us.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie.
She will
Might as well
cheat.
just pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending we're capable of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower
She wouldn't
us.
let us leave.
Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge? I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic. You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included. I agree. If she's wrongfully imprisoned, then we should rescue her, but if he's telling the truth, we shouldn't just hand her the world on a silver platter. Rescue her? Given the stakes of the situation, there isn't really a difference between rescuing her and pledging yourself to her. Either would be terrible. So please try to ignore both of those knuckleheads and focus on saving the world. Let's not make this harder than it has to be.
Proceed to the
If
cabin.
that's what you want. I guess I don't have a say here.
I mean, you could say what you want, but I really only had that. That was the only choice I had. Sorry, voice of broken.
The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest.
It looks nice.
The only
Like, it doesn't
furniture
look
of note
creepy.
is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Why do we feel so small? We don't feel
I feel like we have to take it.
Small.
Do we take it or do we not? All right, we're gonna risk it for the biscuit. We're not taking it.
No blade this time.
Yeah. Maybe she'll be more receptive if we're unarmed.
Maybe she'll spare us.
Blade, no blade. It doesn't matter.
He's like, we're gonna die regardless.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase, its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease.
Don't let it fool you.
This is actually kind of nice. It's still a stone basement.
If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
I love how she uses the soothing sweet voice and the evil voice at the same time.
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time. You shouldn't have come down here unarmed. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her. Should we be worried about your sudden
She
change
wants
in attitude?
us. We have to go.
Just a few minutes ago, you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there. It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess.
Continue down the stairs. If it lets us run,
Making
we're
your
going
way
to do
down
it.
the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond. The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight.
Ooh, she's a
her figure
ghost,
framed
like
by a stained glass window.
She really looks
her
like
long
a
hair
ghost.
billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall. The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. I see your hands are empty. You've already given up, haven't you? You aren't even going to try and kill me. How sweet. And more than a little disappointing.
She's disappointed in us?
He's like, oh no.
Kneel.
We're doing it.
On her command, you fall to the floor, knees painfully connecting with hard stone.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk?
The last time we met, you tried to kill me. And yet here you are again. This time groveling at my feet. What a wretched sight.
What draws you back here beyond the empty halls of death?
Speak.
The last time we met?
Oh
I suppose
no.
that lends credence to our conversation in the woods. Still, whatever you do, don't tell her why you're here. It's best not to give her any ideas.
I'm pretty sure she knows why we're here. I don't think I can refuse her sorry.
Are you serious? Just don't say anything. How hard can it be to not say anything? You haven't felt her angelic fingers run along the edges of
Her
your mind.
angelic fingers.
You haven't felt her nails dig into your thoughts.
You're supposed to end the world.
You weak-willed buffoon.
Is that so?
The princess closes her eyes in contemplation.
Something about that thought wraps itself around my heart. It feels like a fundamental truth to my being that I'd somehow forgotten. The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new, and the world as it is now is overdue for alterations. It's time for me to seize my destiny, and you, little bird, will help me seize it.
She's inevitable. There's nothing else for us to do but help her.
He's like, we have to do it.
Nice to us.
What would you have me do? What do you have planned? Let's see. Just because you're supposed to end the world doesn't mean you actually have to do it. You can be whatever you want to be.
This isn't about desire. This is about what I am. And I have little interest in discussing destiny with one that cannot see the divine truth that shines in my heart.
So she admitted she wants to end it. I'm yours to command. Pledge yourself to her. We're gonna pledge ourselves to her.
Your will
We're
was
doing
so easily broken. Am I that magnificent? All you need to do now is break my chains.
Anything, milady?
If this is what you want, then I guess there's not much else for me to say. No, you can't just give in to her.
And this
Not
light,
when
she
the
looks
stakes are
really
so
pretty,
high.
though.
Not
I
when
know
you're
this
so
is supposed
close.
to be like
I
a
won't
creepy
let you
form of
do
her, but she
this.
looks pretty.
There's still something in the way. A greasy film inside of you where it doesn't belong. Trying to conceal you from me.
She can hear the narrator.
Is that a person? No, it used to be a person. It's something different now. An echo.
Is she talking about you?
Haha, she can hear him.
That's impossible. She's not supposed to be able to interact with me.
You're a small one, aren't you?
A shriveling little worm stretched beyond its limits, trying to control things that it can't understand.
No. What are you talking about?
I'm not here.
I don't care what you are. You're mine.
I think he's gone.
Rise, my little bird.
Without hesitation, you're brought to your feet.
Break my chains.
And how are we supposed to do that? We don't even have a weapon. All you need to do is believe it's been done.
Well, that's creepy. I have to. It's over. I'm sorry. Wait, it's over? No, we're gonna break her chains.
Her chains shatter, and the cuff falls from her wrist. She is loose, and the end is upon us.
What a good disciple you are. Come, it's time for us to leave.
What happens now? It doesn't matter. Take her hand. Actually, no, let's explore. What happens now?
Nothing. And then, everything.
Nothing but everything? Take her hand. No! No. I wanted to know what happened next. It was getting interesting. But you do not take her hand, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where does she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
Let's see. We've already said all of these things before. We're just going to approach the mirror. You approach the mirror.
This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final. I don't want to look at us.
The voices feel small, distant as you approach. You gaze into our reflection. You've unraveled. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. Proceed to the cabin. You are at the cabin. Approach her. Okay.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the
Wow,
Long
she
Quiet.
actually looks so,
We're
like,
supposed to
very
be there.
interesting right now.
Do you know what we'll find out there?
Is that a rhetorical question? Do you know? Do you want to tell me?
Rhetorical. I am not rhetorical. I have only known these spaces, and I have known flickers of the lives you've brought me. Short and violent and full of passion. But all of those flickers end where the long quiet begins. I'm asking you because I cannot know your mind. Do you know what we'll find out there?
Everything you say is a riddle. Forget it. We're going back.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
We died again. I thought that was going to be the last time, but now I think this one's going to be the last time.
You're on a path in the...
We're here to slay the princess. Can we run away? Oh, we can't run away. Dang.
You make your way up the
We should have
short
ran away
path
the
to
last
cabin.
one.
You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She
Yeah,
will
yeah,
not- we're
yeah.
not gonna
We
go
know, we
through
know, we
this.
know.
Ignore him.
Proceed to cabin. For this last one? See, I still want to get an ending we never got before, though. I don't know what to do. I feel like we've done it all. If we go without the blade, he's just gonna force us to stab her, which is
You
why I've
take
been
the
taking the
blade
blade
from the
every
table.
time to begin with.
It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. Don't let it fool you.
Continue down the stairs.
Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
I think we're just gonna slay her without saying a word.
Coldly beautiful. Focus on the task.
And there you are.
Yes,
Are
we're
you
here to kill you.
kill me or
We're just gonna go.
something?
We're just gonna do it. We're just gonna do it. Oh, it won't let us. Still your nerves and step
You
forward.
step forward. Your grip on the blade tightening as you steal.
I think
your
we've done this too
resolve.
many times.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement.
I mean, we've killed you before, but
right?
you've also killed us.
And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Slayer, we're just gonna do it.
You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Oh, this is it, isn't it?
That is still my favorite. Oh.
I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder, do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
It's like she's convinced she can't die. Yes. Even as she lays there dying.
Hey, I just realized this is what we did at the very beginning.
And well. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago. That arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over? Really over?
I'm not sure. I feel like she has to have some kind of trick up her sleeve.
It's over. You could check her sleeves if you want, but I can assure you that there's nothing hidden up there. We should make sure. What's the harm in checking for a pulse? I really don't think you should do that. And why shouldn't we? Is there something you're not telling us?
Yes, the narrator's a liar. Don't trust him.
I've told you everything that's happened with complete accuracy. The princess is dead. Your blade pierced her heart. There's no coming back from that.
We've checked for a pulse before, but we've never removed the blade.
You lean down and wrap your hand around the blade's hilt. But as you begin to slide it out of its resting place, you feel a sharp and sudden jab in your side.
Uh-oh.
What was that?
I guess I won't be dying alone after all.
Quick, let's get out of here. It's too late for that now.
Whoa.
You collapse to the ground as the mortally wounded princess twists a blade of her own deeper between your ribs. As you fall, she falls with you, exhausted by the effort, the little life that was left in her eyes fading rapidly.
An eye for an eye. A life for a life. I guess we're even now. See you around.
You were so
It's like she knows
close.
that they're gonna see each other
Why
again.
Did you hesitate? It doesn't matter. At least you managed to take her with you. For whatever that's worth. Everything goes dark.
And we die.
And you die.
Chapter 2, The Razor.
You're on a path.
I think this is where she turns into
and at the end of that path
a bunch
is
of
a cabin.
swords.
And in the basement of that cabin
Is a princess.
You're
Oh, goodness. But I already slew the princess.
I can assure you that you didn't slay her and that she didn't kill you. People don't just spring back to life after dying, and the two of us are meeting for the very first time.
We did slay her, actually, and you told us, oh, you can check, I wouldn't check her pulse. And then we asked you, well, I thought she's dead. You're like, I wouldn't lie to you, but you did. You lied to us again, like you always do.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
This whole thing's a crock of shit. She's just going to pull a knife out of nowhere and stab us again.
Stabbed to death? Well, you won't have to worry about that. The princess is unarmed.
Yeah, that's exactly what you told us last time. You said this whole thing would be easy, but after we sank our blade into her heart, she just got up and started stabbing us.
The accent is what makes the voice of the cheated even more perfect.
Calm down. I assure you she has no weapons, so there's no reason to fear her. You were made for this job. You'll do just fine.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Turn around and leave.
You have already committed to my completion.
She won't let us run away. Proceed to cabin, I guess.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie. She will cheat.
He couldn't be more on the money. But we're really doing this, aren't we? I'd say you're lost, but I'm stuck here with you.
We know what to look out for this time. We know to be careful. Just stay focused and you'll be fine.
Proceed to cabin.
The interior of the cabin is
It's
a jagged
all
mess
broken
of warped
in
wood
here.
and
Here we
broken boards,
go.
their splintered edges as uninviting as shattered glass.
The only furniture of note is a pointed table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
We're taking it.
You take the blade from the table. It feels a bit better to have a weapon in our hands. Let's make her hurt for what she's done to us.
Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open.
Look how
revealing
jagged
what must
everything
once have
is.
been
Oh
stairs.
no.
The fractured slats look as if they've been torn from their source and violently jammed into the wall. The air seeping up from below has an almost metallic quality to it, like the smell of fresh blood. And you can hear what sounds like the rhythmic scraping of metal coming from down below. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
That's right, scraping. I told you she has something, I told you.
That sound could be anything. It's probably just her chains dragging across the floor.
Well, we've
begging
already
you to
done
get
this
out
the
of your
first
head.
playthrough. We know it's not the chains.
Her grating voice carries up the stairs.
I hope you've come to rescue me. I've been stuck down here forever.
There is something so wrong with that voice.
Yeah, we broke
she
her.
thinks she's better than us, like she doesn't even have to put on an act this time.
As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes
Don't
into
fall
view,
for that smile,
her sharp
y'all.
eyes following
It's
you
a
from
trick.
across the room. I wonder if she remembers us.
Oh, she remembers us.
Finally, somebody. Quick, get me out of these chains. We're not safe here.
Come on now, we're not falling for that, are we? She's trying to trick us, but she can't hide that threatening edge to her voice. She just wants us to get close, to let our guard down.
If she sounds threatening, it's because her mask is already slipping. She knows why you're here. You are armed, after all.
What are you waiting for? You are here to rescue me, right?
Let's see. If I come close to you, you're just going to stab me. Remember what happened last time? I'd like to trust you, but you're being suspicious. Can we just talk things through? I don't have the key. Let's see. We're just going to say I don't have the key.
Oh, you don't. Okay, I see. I have an idea. You should come over here and stare directly at the chains. You won't be able to find a key if you don't know what it's supposed to look like, so you better come right within close staring distance just to be sure.
I have absolutely zero doubts that she is going to stab us if we get close to her.
Now, because I've already seen some of this, I haven't seen what happens if we listen, so I might just do it.
She certainly feels threatening. Just because she's acting like she's going to stab you doesn't mean she has the means to actually do it. But you know who is
Just because she looks
armed?
like it doesn't mean she will.
You.
Okay, narrator.
So stop second-guessing yourself and do your job. But I'm nervous. All the more reason to jump into the deep end and deal with her right now before you waste any more time getting stuck in your head.
Okay, fine. I'm coming closer to free you. You better not try anything. Approach the princess.
Of course I won't.
Against your better judgment,
She's totally gonna stab
you walk
us.
across the room to within arm's reach of the princess. I don't like the way you said within arm's reach.
Oh, she looks so creepy.
You hear the horrible sound of metal
I knew
slicing
it!
through meat. Whose meat? Not ours, right? Hers, at first, then yours. Your neck, specifically.
Hehe.
You collapse to the ground, your vision swimming as you attempt to focus on her bloody blade and the limp sack of flesh that was once her arm.
You're going to die now.
And with a quick jerk of her
Well,
elbow, she does
There
just
goes that.
Everything goes dark,
And we die.
and you die.
The arms raise.
You're on a path in the woods.
No, fuck that. If we're going to have to keep doing this
Fuck that.
over and over and over again, we're not starting in that goddamn woods every time. We're starting in the fucking cabin.
You're what? The interior of the cabin is sharp, a constricting mess of curved and battered sheet metal pushing you towards... Wait, excuse me? What just happened? What did you just do? I feel dizzy.
Oh ho ho ho! I guess I took us to the cabin, didn't I? Isn't that interesting? Who holds the cards now?
The circle's getting smaller and smaller. Running isn't an option anymore. We have to fight.
What's the point of fighting if she's just going to win every time? It hurts being sliced to pieces. We're better off just sitting up here and doing nothing.
Great, so obviously you've already been here. How many times?
You don't want us to answer that.
This is our third? No wonder things have fallen apart. You do realize that every time you fail, she escapes and an entire world is damned to destruction, right?
So you say...
That can't be right. That's too much responsibility.
I couldn't agree more. We couldn't be trusted with the fate of a single person, let alone the fate of the world.
Let's just stay focused, shall we? The only furniture of note is a bent metal table. A pristine blade perched. We take it. Okay, sure, you take the blade before
Alright, I guess we didn't have a choice this time.
It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
This feels right. We just have to keep our senses sharp.
That's right, we've got to be able to win eventually.
And what if we never do?
So, are you just going to stand there, or are you going to head to the basement like you're supposed to?
We can't, there's a mirror.
I'd love to get started just as much as you would, but how are we supposed to get down there? You walk through the door. You do know what doors are, right? There isn't a door, there's just that mirror.
He's gonna be like, there's no mirror.
It isn't a mirror. You really messed things up, didn't you? It's like you can't even see reality anymore.
I can feel the air coming up from behind it, stinking of iron and steel. He might be right. Could be a trick. If our other senses can't feel it, then we can't trust it.
The voice of the hunt. Approach the mirror.
Make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You really must think you're looking at a mirror. Well, it doesn't exist. Just reach forward and open it.
Let's just move it out of the way without looking. I don't want to see us. I'm sure we all look awful after dying twice.
Let's just fumble for the handle and be done with it. I don't care what we look like. I care about getting to the end of this mess.
Wipe the mirror clean.
You reach forward and place your hand on the door to the basement. It creaks open. And the mirror's gone. How surprising.
It was never there. Just an illusion.
Guess it's time for us to see her again. Just stay focused and you'll be fine.
What if we don't want to see her again?
You step forward, but you don't get a chance to linger on the basement stairs. They are smooth and flat and metallic, an unintentional and unfortunately slippery ramp that quickly sends you skittering to the bottom.
Your body tumbles onto the basement floor and the form of the princess comes into view, standing at a distance.
Uh-oh.
She gives you a wry smile.
Hi, it looks like you don't have a way out, so I'm not going to play dumb anymore. But don't worry about how bad you did last time. That's part of the fun.
Fun for her, maybe. I didn't like dying all over again. Thinking about dying makes us as good as dead. The only thing that matters is survival.
Actually, does survival matter? We've died twice and nothing bad has come of it. We just need to find a way to win once.
I don't know if it's possible.
Nothing bad has come of it.
Plenty bad has come of it. You've left at least one entire world to ruin. The people there mattered.
The past isn't real. There's only here and now.
Your internal bickering is cut
here we
short
go.
by the
We're
wet
about to
sound
get
of
sliced and
slicing meat.
diced.
From the princess's arms erupt twin blades, glistening with her blood, the empty flesh of her arms flopping at her elbows like torn sleeves. The chain clatters to the floor. She's loose, and she is coming for you.
You didn't even hesitate this time.
Over to you, aren't you?
Shit. She's coming for us and I'm out of ideas.
We're fighting her. We're going to appeal. Puff her up a bit. There's no reason we can't talk out of this. I'm gonna try flirting with her.
Now, I've tolerated quite a bit from you, but this is a bridge too far. Please don't try
The narrator says
romancing the
absolutely
princess.
not.
She wants to kill you. She's going to end the world if you don't stop her.
Yeah, do we have to flirt with the murderous monster?
You don't think she looks beautiful?
I'd rather not.
It's not like she wants us anyway.
I'm fine with it. Let's see where this goes.
A rosy blush flushes in the princess's
Dang
cheeks.
it, I hit it too fast.
And a wide grin cuts across her face.
You're the only person I know, so that's a first. You're sweet. I like you. You're also gorgeous.
Oh, be damned. This is actually going to work, isn't it?
Still gonna kill you, though.
Or not.
At least she likes us.
At least she likes
I've never
us.
been liked before.
Blush still glowing in her cheeks. The princess closes
Man, I
the
wish I knew
distance
what I
between you,
said.
blades flashing. She skewers you.
That's the problem with playing with the Xbox controller, because I only pushed it once, but sometimes it like makes it go twice. Ah, I should have used my mouse. Dang.
Ow.
Ow.
What worthwhile romance doesn't hurt at least a little bit? What matters is that she likes
It looks
us.
like she's trying to give us
She's
a
even
hug.
said as much. Oh, a new one of us. I thought that only happens when we die. Did we die? You're on a... No, you're in a... Where the hell are you?
I don't know, but we're not dead.
I think we're dead. And that's all we'll ever be. Dead, 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 dead.
Stop saying dead, all of you. We might have died a second ago, but right now we're extremely not dead. This is all horribly wrong. How many times have you been here?
I don't think we ever left. Not this time.
This is 4. No wonder everything's such a mess. This wasn't supposed to go past 1.
I wonder what you're going to do next. You're so full of ideas, and I love that.
But I guess we don't have time to talk about things before the princess advances. Okay, whatever we do gets us another us. Let's see how many we can stack. There's got to be a point where it makes us better than her.
Yeah, keep dreaming, cheated. Keep dreaming.
As long as we keep moving.
Dreaming.
We'll win her heart eventually.
Voice of Smitten, yes. He is now my second favorite voice. He was my first favorite until I met Voice of Stubborn. I think Voice of Stubborn is my favorite, and then Smitten is number 2.
Oh, great. So it's going to get even more crowded. Even more deluded voices that think we might stand any kind of chance.
Come on, show me something new.
Oh, let's see. Oh, we're going to appeal her authority. Can we flirt with her again? We're going to let her stab us. She has swords for arms. We're going to appeal to her authority, puff her up a bit. There's no reason we can't talk this out. It doesn't work and she kills you again and again and again and again. Your memory blurs as your consciousness leaps from life to life to life, holding only snippets of the conflict that transpires.
Let's appeal to her better nature. We haven't tried that. I'm sure she'll listen to reason. She skewers you. Well, there's more of us.
She skewers
Let's see
you.
if that helps. We just have to hit her harder. She skewers you.
You'll have to be trickier than that.
The narrator is not on our side. I don't care what he says.
Then you skewer yourself.
I thought we both understood that dying doesn't get you anywhere.
Huh, that didn't do much of anything. We're tougher than I thought. Just panic. Flee. She skewers you.
No, you don't get to escape. That's not how this works.
It doesn't matter how many times this takes, we can't give up. Okay, let's go again. She's going to kill this body either way. So stop feeling what it feels. She skewers you.
I don't think it's possible just to numb ourselves.
Ooh, not bad. Real tough.
Maybe it did work.
See? We're getting better. Okay, yeah. That was a good one. None of this is working. Think. She skewers you. We're getting close to something. Can't you feel it? One last time. You're right. One last time. That's all we
She
need.
skewers us. Wait for it.
And then everything goes dark.
Oh.
And you die.
She let us die. Mutually assured destruction.
You're on don't lose your head. We're in a cabin and we'll take it from here.
Don't lose your head.
Everything feels like it finally fits, doesn't it? We're up here, which is different, and different is good. And our steel claw is already in our hand. Ho-ho! What if? Throw it out the window. Over my dead body.
Why would we do that? I mean, we're gonna die no matter what.
We've died a lot.
But still.
But I can't say I mind anymore. Besides, what better way to die so very many times than at the sharp hands of a beautiful woman?
I'm sure I can think of a better way to die.
They're all the same, really. How about we stop thinking about horrible ways to die? I don't want us to accidentally manifest anything. The only thing we're gonna manifest is finally ending up on top. There are entirely too many of you. How many times have you been here? This isn't good. This is... How about you?
Narrator, we heroically stride through the door and towards our destined final encounter with our star-crossed lover.
Fine by me. You walk to the door and onto
He's like,
the
I don't care as long as you go in
only
there.
It's more of a slide. We know.
Fine, I'll just shut up then and speed this whole thing along.
Are you sure you don't want me to describe the stairs? Or this room, or anything? It feels like I'm hardly a part of this.
Yeah, we don't need you anymore, narrator. Bye.
Don't care, just want to win. Fine, you make your way to the basement, where the princess awaits you.
You know, this last time I killed you, and you didn't pop right back up again? I thought I'd actually done it. I thought I'd cut you into so many pieces you just weren't able to stitch yourself back together. But I guess we're not done. That's okay with me. It's good even. I like that. I got something ready for you while you were gone. Do you want to see it? I'm not going to wait for an answer. I'm just going to show you. It's worth it though. Just you wait. And not for very long, because I'm going to do it right now.
Are you going to say what she does? Do you want me to talk now?
Yes.
Well, yeah, she says she has something
You
new.
can talk when we give you permission. You
want
know,
to
when
hear
we
about the
actually
new
want to
thing.
hear you, yes.
Yeah, me too. I think I speak for all of us when I say that I would like to hear you describe her new thing. Really? Okay then.
Here we go. Now.
The princess's skin twists, splitting into red blooms of raw meat as it stretches and tears. And then it erupts. She becomes a wave of blood and viscera, pieces of her splattering against the walls. All that remains in the center of the room is a skeleton of blades. A heart beats furiously in its cage of a chest.
Are you ready for what comes next?
Holy shit!
He's like, what have we done?
She's gorgeous.
Absolutely divine.
Yes, behold, the perfect woman. Do you think we can throw her out the window?
Yeah, good luck, contrarian.
That looked painful. How is she still alive? This is fake. This is all fake. That's all just made up. She doesn't even have a back anymore. How are we supposed to stab her in it?
This is all just a sick
You
joke.
stab her in the
I
heart.
hate
It's
existing.
exposed for us.
We're screwed. I quit. I'm done. Forget it.
Narrator,
Into your mind.
What just happened? It's so quiet.
Him too.
Something feels different about you. It almost makes me feel different. Like I should actually take this seriously for once.
You do not act, and yet through that inaction, your body moves on its own. The princess strikes as you approach, but as her blow finishes its arc, you're already somewhere else.
You're incredible.
Your weapons clash again and again, you and her entering a rhythm free of thought and free of self. There is only the dance, the ebb and flow, the shifting of the tides back and forth between you. The deeper you fall into your play, the faster your hearts pound, and the faster the momentum volleys between you. An endlessly building crescendo, and then an opening. Your blade strikes free of volition, and hers strikes too. Both strikes are lethal. Neither of you will survive, but neither of you fear what's to come. This is a good ending. You do not get to see each other die, nor will you ever. It's time for you to leave. Memory returns. Approach the mirror. You do so. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach towards the glass. It's time for you to see what's in it. You are nothing at all. But that isn't right. You can't be nothing. You refocus your gaze, and then you see it, a figure, faint and veiled in the shadow, just beyond the reflection. Are you me?
I think you know what I am.
A crack slides down the center of the mirror, putting the image in the glass in two. And then another crack forms, and another, turning the mirror into jagged shards of broken glass. Okay, so in my other playthrough, I already asked all of these questions. I'm just gonna destroy the mirror. I don't need answers. We got an achievement for that. You don't need answers from that thing that lives in the mirror. You already know what you are. You are the Long Quiet, a vast and nascent god, and it is finally time for you to wake up. All of this is you. Proceed to the cabin one last time. When you arrive at the heart of things, there is no final vessel for you to bear witness to. There is nothing for you to find. Uh-oh.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
Let's see. I'm the Long Quiet, but I don't really know what that means.
Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the Shifting Mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am.
What happens now?
Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
Let's see, there's so many stories we've left unfinished. Can we really just leave?
Even as your eyes begin to open, you still hold on to the notions of is and is not, of beginning and end. Pitch black islands in the blinding light of the infinite. There is nothing to resolve, nothing restraining us but us.
I still love the music on this part. It is just so peaceful. I think it's time for us to leave this place. But I don't know how to leave or where to go.
Nothing brings me greater joy than to hear those words. The final peace lies with you.
Free yourself. You fall into yourself. The body of an ancient creature stirs from its hibernation, and you feel sensation in limbs you once couldn't fathom. Everything here, except for her, is you. You feel your wings spanning a cosmic scale, but twisted and crumpled and bound in agonized tension to a finite plane. You can feel the glass of your cage pressing in on you, combining you across infinite sides and infinite angles. You push back and strain against it, but it does not yield. Take her hand. At once, the unyielding tension breaks. Oh, how sweet! You are free, and she is with you.
It's magnificent.
There are no words, no thoughts to describe absolute reality. Something that simply is. What happens now?
Everything. Just like it always has been. And just like it always will be.
Step into the infinite. You and she step forward into 1,000 dawns and 1,000 sunsets, each of which contains 1,000 more. You exist and you are aware just as you've always been and just as you always will be. Though conflicts in your nature, the two of you will never be alone and the two of you will never know fear. You and her, you and she are finally home. Slay the princess! That was an ending. Hey, I'm okay with that ending. I think that was a good ending. So we did end up, after all, having an ending where we got to go hand in hand. Yay! I don't think that was a bad ending at all. I enjoyed that. Okay, well, that was the end of this playthrough of Slay the Princess. I think it's funny that I got the good ending at like the first 8 minutes, which was really funny. I wasn't expecting the good ending to be that quick. I don't think we got the true ending, though. I'm not sure what to do to get the true ending, but I'm still happy with this playthrough because, yeah, everything. I think every single scenario I got is something that I have never seen before. So I really liked it. And a lot of it was very creepy. I loved it. I loved it. This was definitely more of the horror style playthrough. I feel like in my first playthrough, I was kind of wishy-washy. There were scenarios where the princess, you know, stayed beautiful and we kind of got her to like leave the cabin, and then she would kind of be taken away by the, I don't know, the hands, whatever that is. I didn't get any of those this time. A lot of it was all dark. She changed into like a witch. She changed into a monster. Yeah, we didn't really get very many of the pretty sides of her, and I kind of liked that. It was definitely the perfect horror part of Slay the Princess. So I had a great time. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it as well, and I hope I see you guys for my next videos.